Inspired live vlog. This is episode 35. It's going to be quite a deep one today. It's going to be quite a deep one. I'm going to be talking, the title is From Childhood Wounds to Healing. I'll start again. From Childhood Wounds to Healing, a talk on narcissistic parents. It's quite a deep one, this one. And it's going to hit home. Well, it is with me anyway. But I think it's an important topic. I think we all have trauma growing up as humans, as people. No one's perfect, of course. Parents aren't always perfect either. We're human. But what I'm talking about today is narcissistic parents. One moment. I'm just going to put this into the chat. Bit slow today. So what's today? It's Sunday. It's the 14th of September 2025. Time goes quick, man. You've got to just live your life the best you can, man. As best as you can. Narcissistic parents. I'm just going to leave that up there. Then people know what I'm talking about if they do join. One moment. Hi, Sander. Good of you to join us. Hi, Sander. Good morning to you too. Good of you to join us. Sorry if I'm a little bit tired today, but it is what it is. I'm not at my best, but I'm here. I've turned up. You're saying such an important subject, Brad. Yeah, it is. It influences how we, your upbringing influences how the relationships that you form when you're older as well, consciously and unconsciously. A lot of people don't really look at these things, or they don't go that deep because it can be quite painful. And also it can be quite how do I say it? It can sometimes be, you can have parents that have some signs of narcissism, but they're really good people as well, which can be very difficult because not all narcissistic parents are the same. Not all the same. And then it's difficult if there's a lot of love there as well. It can be very challenging. Some people have really deeply narcissistic parents and they're really just awful with them, which must be harrowing and awful to deal with, which we'll talk about as I go along, of course, which must be hard to deal with. But from my own perspective as well, sometimes you could have a bit of trauma growing up because your parents weren't perfect, let's say, and then it's harder to differentiate. It's harder to. You feel conflicted potentially. I feel conflicted talking about this, to be honest. But anyway, I'll go into details with that in a moment. So I've got my notes, but a lot of what I'm going to be saying is off the cuff. It's me freestyling. Just to be open and honest, guys, my name's Brad. If you've not seen me before, this is a Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 35. The title is From Childhood Wounds to Healing, a talk on narcissistic parents. That's what I'm going to be talking about. But to be open and honest and transparent, I am not a medical professional. Therefore, I'm not a doctor. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm also not a psychotherapist. I'm not any of those things. I'm just giving I'm having an open and honest discussion about these things. I do have some knowledge, but I don't know everything. But I do have some knowledge, which I believe could help people. If you need deeper help or anything like that, then see a professional or whatever. But I'm not that person. I just want to be open and honest with you guys. I don't want to be lying to anyone. But I'm coming from a good place. I genuinely want to help people. That's what I believe I'm here for. So that's why I'm here, turning up. So anyway, let's crack on. Let's start. So I'm going to say, hi, everyone. Good of you to join me, by the way. I'm glad, good of you to join me. Thank you. This live is going to be, it's going to be a deep one. It's going to be a deep one. We're talking about narcissistic parents, which I've just mentioned. That experience can look, and what that experience can look like. What can it look like? Zach saying, why so nervous, dude? I'm a bit run down, Zach. I'm just starting my live, mate. The free-flowing nature will develop as we go, Zach. Also, it's not easy speaking on camera, Zach. I'm not like a professional speaker or anything. I'm just a normal guy, just speaking, Zach. I'm doing my best, though, mate. Good of you to join us, though. and how it shaped this, and also how narcissistic parents can shape us, how they can shape us. I'm going to go into that and how we can begin to look forward. How do we heal from all these things? Easier said than fucking done, of course, but I'll get into that later. But I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm not here to be preaching, this is the way, this is the only way, this is the only right way. Everyone's got their own perspectives. People and humans are complex, including narcissistic people. They're not just all one size fits all. They're not all the bloody same. They come in different shapes and sizes like we all do. Cupboard of cheese. Did you have a narcissistic parent? This is a bit conflicting for me because I love my mum and dad. However, I think I've experienced things growing up which could be in line with that, but it's a bit conflicting for me personally because I genuinely do love my mum and dad, and there's a lot of good points to them, and it's quite a touchy subject for me personally, if I'm honest. Cupboard of cheese, but I think I have picked up some trauma along the way. I have childhood trauma. I have. I'll get into that later. I'll open up the best I can with that cupboard of cheese. But I think there's levels to it. I think some people have really deeply narcissistic parents that are really nasty. And I've not had that cupboard of cheese, if I'm honest. I probably had little bits of imperfection growing up. It's not easy. Zach saying, I have not parents too. God bless you, dude. I'm sorry, Zach, that you have that. I'm sorry that you have that. I bet it's not easy at all. I'll go into details a bit more with that later. But sometimes, going on. So if anything resonates, feel free to share it. You don't have to share it though if you don't want to. There's no pressure, by the way. But a problem shared is a problem halved sometimes. It's good to have these discussions sometimes. I don't think you can speak about these things all the time though, because it's quite deep. It's really fucking deep. Because think about it, when you're young, that's when the trauma can be. We all have some trauma, man. We all have some shit. We all have insecurities. We're all fucking human. We're all not perfect. And you can have a lovely mum and dad. They're doing the best, but they're not going to be perfect, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But there is going to be some trauma built up by passed down from them to the children, potentially. Cupboard of cheese saying, I see. I've got some good stories though, but related to what I'm talking about. I'm sorry if I'm a bit nasal today. I've got a little bit of a cold, so I'm not at my best today, guys. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best I can do today. Zach's saying, I'll keep going back to the comments as well. Zach is saying, my cure is to stop reacting to them at all emotionally. That's part of self-mastery, Zach. Just become as still as you can. Very wise words, Zach. I agree. Have I spelt it wrong? Oh, God, I feel like an idiot. Sorry. Right. Thanks for telling me, Sander. I look like a right idiot, don't I? I'm really sorry, guys. Cupboard of cheese saying, I know lots of adults that still live with their dysfunctional parents. Yeah, especially when the financial pressures, so it's cheaper to live with your mum and dad, but still under their roof, under their rule, let's say, cupboard of cheese, which can be difficult, I imagine. You're not in your own energy, you're not in your own place. Some people can't afford that. I know lots of, Sander B saying, Zach, does that work for you? Good question, Sanders. Zach is then saying it worked wonderfully. Good for you, Zach. R.I.P. to Charlie Kirk. Yes, I agree. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's really sad that. I agree, James. It's sad. It's really sad. Sorry if I've spelt narcissistic wrong. I'm going to keep it there, though. Yeah, I know. I've spelt it wrong. Forgive my bad grammar there. Let me just change that. I'm losing my flow here because I'm changing this. Sorry, guys. And then I'll crack on. I'll go to the comments in a moment as well. Narcissistic parent. Sorry about the bad spelling. Thank you for correcting me, and I'm okay with being corrected. That's good. Thank you. Sheila, good. Hope I pronounced your name right. Sheila saying, I'm also scared of sharing my feelings with my parents. Oh God, yes, snap. I can't be 100% myself either. They used to mock your pain. That's a big sign of narcissistic parents. They just laugh it off like it's nothing, like it doesn't even fucking matter. I'm sorry, that's not nice at all. Like your feelings don't matter. You feel like you can't speak, type of thing. Sanders then James says, LOL. Sanders agree with me. That must be really hard. I agree. Sheila, I hope I'm saying your name right, Sheila. Sorry if I'm not. Kenj is saying good chat. It's an important topic. It's a deep one. Sanders saying 1010. Angel number maybe. Little Hazy is then saying, my mum is the source of my mental health issues. I love her with everything. That's how it goes as well. There's love there as well, which makes it complicated, doesn't it? But I can't get help because she tells me not to talk about her to doctors. She doesn't want any help. Her own medical records say she's majorly impacted me. I'm really sorry to hear that, Little Hazy. I'm really sorry to hear Little Hazy. Little Hazy, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you still, Sarah's asking if you still live with her. So, like Little Hazy just said, she made a good point there. Obviously a painful point, but a good point. They're struggling to show empathy. Sorry, I'm going back. Sheila, saying that they struggle to show empathy, to show true empathy. They don't. They can't. They haven't got the capacity to do so. They just don't. It's not in their mind. Like, they don't give a shit. They don't even care about themselves. They're just too deeply ingrained in their own self. They don't even consider anyone else's feelings. They don't feel like they need to or have to. They just don't care, or they appear not to care. With deeply narcissistic parents especially, they're just too self-absorbed. They're too ego-driven, and they're too, potentially, it's a lot of it's coming from deep insecurity. Even if it doesn't look like insecurity, sometimes insecurity can be masked really well by these types of people, but it's there. They don't love themselves, therefore they can't really love anybody else, in that type of thinking anyway. This is something, oh God, it's quite a deep, this is a really deep topic, man. It's a hard one to deal with as well. Things are easier said than done as well, aren't they, of course, and not one size fits all. Let me go back to the comments, guys. Thank you for commenting, by the way. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please just please subscribe, hit the notification button as well, and then you'll be aware of when my next content is coming out. Currently, I just do lives, so I prefer the lives because it just comes across a lot more genuine, and just find it a nice, free-flowing conversation. I prefer those types of that kind of content, shall I say. And my intention is to help people. Anyway, let me go back to Sanders saying, Little Hazy, we never stop loving our parents. No, we don't. Well, no, a lot of the time. But sadly, if they're narcissists, we stop loving ourselves. Kenj is then saying, on the flip side, how do we deal with a child who has no respect and pushes buttons to make you react? So you've got the child who's narcissistic then, Kenj, in that situation. Basically, it's putting boundaries in place. And if they're not going to listen to those boundaries or respect you at all, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, it's going back to, I forgot the guy's name, sorry. It said the cheese board guy, whatever he's called, sorry if I forgot your name. It's just trying to become they want an emotional reaction out of you. It feeds them, it makes them feel better. Sorry about the noise in the background. I think it's a police car. It's trying not to be emotionally reactive to those things, which is, again, easier said than done. And if you have to live under the same roof as them, it's a lot more difficult, isn't it? But if you've got your own space, your own energy away from them all, that's great. You've got your own apartment and you're financially independent, you can create distance then, can't you? Sorry, that's all I've got to say for that for now, Kenj. Little Hazy's then saying, folle do, they called it. I hope I said that right. French by the sounds of it. Her psychosis came onto me. He said, yes, I do. I care for my mum full time. She's disabled. Oh, it must be difficult. And had an accident and wasn't always like this. So it's a physical disability that's made her bitter, made her angry, maybe made her psychologically, it's affected her. Little Hazy, I can understand that. That's a lot of pressure on you as well. Like a caretaker, looking after your mum. That shows a lot of strength as well and a lot of empathy from you. Must be difficult, that, Little Hazy, to say the least, of course. Little Hazy is saying, yeah, I go to her with issues and I get told to man up, but I've got to be the emotional support dog. You've got to soak it all up. You've got to be the emotionally strong one. By the sounds of it, that must be really difficult. Little Hazy, thanks for sharing, by the way. And Dawn saying, hi Dawn, hope you're okay. Good to join us. Hope you're okay. Dawn saying, I saw something yesterday that said Nordics actually have grey matter missing from the side of their brain used for love and empathy. So they're wired up differently, basically. Makes sense. I've never seen that research though. It's interesting. I think the modern science doesn't even know the full workings of the brain, does it? It doesn't know doesn't understand it completely. That's an interesting one, though. Thanks, Dawn. It makes sense, I suppose. I suppose you get that with psychopaths as well. They just don't feel any empathy, potentially. Maybe it's because their brains are wired up differently. I don't know the full science behind all of that. Do you know much about attachment styles? Do I know much about attachment styles? Good question, cupboard of cheese. One moment, please. Like trauma bonds kind of thing. I'm thinking with that cupboard of cheese. So basically, you could grow up with narcissistic parents. You're young. You don't know what's going on. You're just dealing with it the best you can. You're going to get trauma from that. You don't know what you're doing. Of course, you're young. You're like 7 years old or whatever. Then you grow up and then you're attracted to, unconsciously, people that were similar. Maybe narcissistic people you'll be attracted to and they'll be attracted to you because you're a source of energy for them. So you can create trauma bonds. And that's what I'm thinking with regards to the attachment styles. There's much more to that than what I'm just saying, cupboard of cheese. I think I've done that. I've had friends and partners in the past, not anymore, thank God, but in the past, I think I was just drawn to narcissistic people. And I was taken advantage of, absolutely, when I was younger, by friends and by partners. And I was attached to those people because of my trauma. I hope that explains that well enough for you, cupboard of cheese. That's my little take on it. I think there's a lot more to it than that, though, if I'm honest. Sanders then saying, Little Hazy, I'm sorry to hear all this. Do you have any emotional support from anyone? Good question, Sander. Little Hazy says, Sander B, I go to CBT sessions now. My doctor, that's very good. Good for you, Little Hazy. My doctor told me my anxiety is the highest level and I tried to get me on Valium, but I'm not taking that poison no way. My doctor is awesome, I must admit. There's a down valley in it, Valium. I think it's a short-term fix for a very deep, long-term problem. A lot of people take anti-anxiety medication, antidepressant medication, the list goes on. And these things can be good and not everything works for everyone, but I think not just a pill is going to fix everything. Just a pill's not going to fix everything. I think it requires deeper work. The hard road will take you home, basically. Good for you for not taking the Valium, in my opinion. Not that I'm a doctor, by the way, Little Hazy, just to be clear. Sheila is saying, I'm so grateful I found you here. I also have deleted my social media account due to my parents' behaviour and I started losing interest in all other things around me. Becoming disassociated by the sounds of it. Little Hazy then says, feels good to get it off my chest. want to let others comment and get stuff off their chest. Thanks for your time. No worries, little Hazy. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing. It's good to get things off your chest sometimes. It does help a little bit. Problem shared is a problem halved. And sometimes, like, you just want to talk about things and you don't even need any advice. You just want to just be heard. You want to feel like you're understood, and you want to feel like you're heard. And sometimes that's a big thing in itself. Sometimes there's not straightforward answers for anything either. You can't always just have a quick answer and a quick response that solves everything. Sometimes it's just like I've just said, it's good just to be listened to and feel like you're heard, feel like you're understood. People go, I understand where you're coming from, so you don't feel so alone with those things, which is a big step forwards, in my opinion, as simple as that is. Sandy's saying, cupboard of cheese, if you can get a book by Helen Marie called Choose You. I've not read that book. It's amazing and explains attachment types well, and you can find your own type and work with it on it. Do you know what? I need to read that, Sander. I do read quite a bit. I'm reading a book called Grit at the moment, which it's all about, obviously, grit, being determined. I'm just going to write this down. Choose You, Helen Marie. Thank you, Sander. And that's about attachments. I need to learn more about that, if I'm honest. But thank you for that. Coming to Cheese saying thank you for this recommendation. Okay, I'm going to go back to the comments in a moment, guys. But I've got a little story. I'm going to give an example. Basically, this is anonymous, by the way. This person has emailed me. If you ever want to email me, by the way, if you want any, because you can only type so much on here. If you ever want to email me, I'll help you the best I can. Doesn't matter what it's about. It's www.inspirationalambivert@outlook.com. It's on my page. You'll see it there. And this person has given me part of their story about narcissistic parents. And this is just an example of it. It involves triangulation as well, this story. Of course, this is anonymous though. So here's the story, and then I'll go back to the comments, guys. All right, give me a couple of minutes with this. So this is a triangulation story, basically. This is what I got. This is the message. I'm just conveying it. I'm communicating it the best I can. There's a ton of stuff that I won't go into just yet, but I wanted to talk about triangulation, where they use other people in a triangle to manipulate. So triangulation, the narcissist will use manipulation to play people off against each other, basically. My dad used this a lot, and I didn't even notice until this year. A lot of the time when these things are happening, you're being manipulated, especially when you're younger, you don't realise it's happening. You don't look into it too much. Understandable. He would always say how boring my mum was and how she never let anyone do anything fun. So he's blaming the mum. The dad is blaming the mum in this story. He would even encourage us to sing Morning Morning to put her down. So the dad is encouraging the kids to put the mum down, to beat her up. You know what I mean? Just to make himself feel better. My middle name is the name of someone my dad either liked or dated. This is mad, isn't it, if you think about it? So the dad has called his daughter's middle name something about another woman that he was dating or someone that he liked, potentially, which was probably aimed to drive a wedge between me and my mum. So triangulation going on there. I want to create it's like a twisted game. I want to create distance between my daughter and my wife in that situation. And they've done that since the day that this person who wrote the message was born. I'm saying this best I can. He used to talk to the women he was cheating with. So he used to cheat on his wife with on the phone in front of me. So he used to do it in front of his daughter on the phone, which is crazy. And I had to keep it all a secret from my mum because I knew that he'd throw a tantrum. So he's getting his daughter to cover up for him cheating, which is crazy as well. And then he smashed the house up. So basically, there was a fear that this person would erupt. So you're walking on eggshells there, aren't you, in this situation, if that's your dad, if that's your parent. I was really over-disciplined and scared to do anything wrong, while my brother had absolutely had no boundaries. So the discipline's on the daughter, but the the brother in this family situation can get away with anything for whatever reason, and could do whatever he wanted. And now I see that was to keep us fighting. He was allowed to follow, the brother was allowed to follow the daughter everywhere and be in the bed, in the bath, etc. So the younger brother was allowed to be with the older daughter wherever he wanted to go. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted. And if the daughter who wrote this, complained or cried, he would just say, "Oh, he's just your baby brother. He wants to be with you." Anyway, the story continues. Sorry, I'm saying the best I can. "My dog was used to manipulate me too. He used to annoy him constantly." So the narcissist dad is annoying the dog, playing around with the dog, making it angry, just playing with the dog, but not being nice with the dog. So that his temper was completely broken. So there's no bad dogs, it's just bad owners. It's bad. If a dog's bad, most of the time it's because it's been mistreated and it's lashing out. Not everyone will agree with that, but I believe that. And if the daughter, if she said, "Stop annoying the dog, leave the dog alone," he said, "I'm not having an animal that I can't play with." So as a narcissist, he just likes playing with animals. He likes winding people up. He likes playing games. He likes being twisted. Sounds horrible. So basically, I was told to shut up or lose my dog. So they're using the dog as manipulation as well. If you don't shut up, you're gonna lose your dog. Saying that to your daughter, saying that to a young girl is awful. But when the dog bit anyone, so the dog would lash out. Dogs are not lash out. If you mistreat a dog, it's going to lash out eventually. Like I said, it's the owner, not the dog in that situation. Then the narcissistic parent would then come to me and say, "If your fucking dog bites anyone else, I'll kill it." That's awful. Again, manipulation with my bare hands. And this person was 8 at the time. This person was 8 years old at the time with a narcissistic parent with this abuse going on. And I bet it was very confusing at the time because you're not going to understand it at 8 years old. The last time I spoke to my dad was in March, I'm assuming this year. And the last conversation with him was him trying to turn me against my mum again. But I saw it this time. Again, manipulation, isn't it? My brother came to my house for Christmas last year. And when my dad found out, he went running between us, trying to make us fall out. Still trying the same old tricks, even though you're older now. Because he didn't want us getting on. That's all I've got to say there. So basically, that's the story about a narcissistic parent. Using triangulation, playing people off each other. This is just one example. There'll be lots of different narcissistic parents, and they'll be doing things more severely or less severely, sometimes just a little bit, sometimes a lot. This one's more severe, in my opinion. There's probably more to that story as well, of course. But it's just constant playing games, never accept responsibility. Etc. etc. I'm going to go back to the comments 1 second, but it sounds awful growing up with that, around that craziness. It's going to affect you growing up. It's going to affect your relationships going forwards in life. I think so anyway. It'd be understandable for that to happen as well, for that to occur. And difficult to deal with because you're thinking, these are my parents. These are people who are meant to be fucking looking after me. These are people that I'm meant to love. They're meant to be they're meant to be your rock. Meant to be a safe place. And what can happen is people don't always get that. It's fucking sad. And that forces us to grow up and develop. I'll go into that more later, but I'm going to go back to the comments, guys. One moment. Sandra saying, "Little Hazy, avoid any type of site mess too. Good for you." Sorry if it takes me a while to catch up with the comments. I'm doing my best though, guys. I want to respect everyone that's on here, and I want to try and read through everything the best I can. Little Hazy says, "Thank you. Been on antidepressant meds since 2018 and had five different kinds, but I draw the line there, man." Good for you, Little Hazy. It's good that you've recognised that there's going to be side effects, especially with Valium. It's very strong, isn't it? It's the medications can help short term, I believe, but I think the deeper work is needed. The deeper work's needed. The hard road will take you home, as I keep saying. Sanders saying, I believe narcissists are deeply wounded people that were shaped by their own upbringing and life circumstances. A lot of the time, yes. Especially years ago. There weren't all of this knowledge then. I think things were a lot harder, a lot harsher. Their upbringing would have been different. Their environment would have been different. The culture would have been different, depending where you live. And it's changed, hasn't it? And then that trauma, they soak up their trauma and then they pass it down. Do we all do this to an extent? Are we perfect? No, we're not. Should you give your parents the benefit of the doubt? Of course you should. You should love your parents. Of course you should. But there's levels to it. And sometimes you can't fix. Some things you can. Some things you can mend. Some things you can't. And it's differentiating between the two. And each person has an individual story. And people are complex. So not one size fits all, as I say a lot. But I believe that. School Gamer 551 saying, hello, how are you? Hello, School Gamer. Good of you to join us again. Hope that you're okay. Sanders saying hi. Zuki, hi Zuki. Good to have you with us. Zuki saying, while likely not narcissistic, potentially traits though, my mum has caused some long-lasting upset and damage for me. Unfortunately, due to my chronic health, I have had to move back home after 6 years. I'm sorry to hear that, Zuki. That must be challenging for you. Sorry about your health issues. I hope it improves for you, Zuki, or at least gets a little bit better. I'm sorry to hear that, Zuki. Santa says, I'm good, School Gamer, thank you. Zuki then says, of living alone, post moving on, so I'm certainly worrying, concerned about how things might go, because you're going back home to potentially a toxic situation, Zuki, by the sounds of it. I can understand your concern with regards to that. Santa's saying, Little Hazy, you're so strong. I agree. These things make you stronger, though. These shitty fucking situations, this is suffering, isn't it? Straight from the get-go, from childhood sometimes, but it can forge you into who you are. And without those hard lessons, might sound harsh, you don't get stronger. You don't get stronger. If your life was really easy all the time and it was simple, you never learn, you never grow. This might not sound great, though, what I'm saying, when you're going through some shit, though. You're thinking, I just want it to go away. I want it to end. I just want it to be better, of course. So School Game is saying, good to hear you're well. That's very kind. Little Hazy saying, thanks, team. Love heart. That's lovely, Little Hazy. Sending love back. Zuki said, but I've been trying my best to work on recognizing behaviors and how to protect myself mentally. So I'm hoping I'll be better equipped than when I last lived at home with them. Zuki, I don't know the full situation, and obviously it could be wrong, but I could be wrong. I think if people are very rigid in their behavior, they're probably not going to change. You might see a repeat of those patterns again. You might not, though. Don't take I'm not in that situation, Zuki, so I don't know the full ins and outs. But I find if they've got narcissistic traits, they're rigid, so they're not open-minded, they don't generally grow, if they don't accept responsibility for their actions, etc. If they're that type of person, they're probably not going to change. So if you go back into that situation, you're going to see those old patterns of behaviour be portrayed again. However, on a positive, Zuki, by the sounds of it, you're forewarned, you're forearmed, so you can protect yourself a lot better. But it's hard when you're in that situation because there's emotions linked to that as well. Sander's saying, Zuki, yikes, I feel you. Absolutely. I go back home for 2 weeks, Sander's saying, and it's like an emotional setback. It's not nice. Why do you have to go back living with your parents? Good question. Yeah, it's like you're going back into the furnace again. But I suppose it could be a good test to see where you're at. It could be a good test to see where you're at. In an ideal world, though, we'd have our own place to live, but it's not always easy, especially in these economic times that people are struggling. People have got less income now than they used to. Standard of living has got more expensive, so it's harder. Harder to have your own place, harder to have your independence. Anyway, Dawn's saying, I have an attachment style, but I don't let it drive my actions. But it doesn't stop me thinking everyone is angry at me, wants to get rid of me, or is going to die and leave me. Oh, sorry to hear that, Dawn. So it's just, it sounds awful. It sounds like you're managing it well, though. Feel like you're not lovable, feel like you're not liked. It's that inner critic, isn't it? Which is fueled by anxiety, by the sounds of it. Sorry, I'm going to move on. This doesn't sound nice. Sander says, Zuki, yes, good idea. Try setting some boundaries there. Maybe even start a really easy one. I like to, you'll know, Zuki, deep down, you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do deep down. I think with boundaries, I'll start with the easy ones first to give you, build up your confidence. That's how I do it, but everyone does things differently, of course. Sander's saying, Zuki, yes, good idea, Sander's saying. Try setting some boundaries there. I try and do that when around parents. It's so important to protect yourself, absolutely. Because if you don't protect yourself, no one else is going to be. Zuki's then saying, Sander, my health has been slowly getting worse for the past 3.5 years, and it's to a point I can't look after myself anymore. I'm sorry, Zuki. And I've been signed off sick from work for a few months now. And moving back is the only option for me. It's a rock and a hard place situation. It sounds it, Zuki. With regards to your health, is there a chance it's going to get better? Is there a chance of that? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Potentially, Zuki. It sounds it sounds like it's a difficult situation, not just because of your health, because of the psychological situation as well, having to move back with your parents, basically. But you need a roof over your head, of course. Understand that. Sander's saying, Zuki, I'm really sorry to hear that, as am I. I agree, Sander. Sander's then saying, Zuki, you most definitely have to focus on your health right now. Yeah, that's priority, I suppose. That's got to be, hasn't it? Thanks, Sander B. Skull Gamer saying, I've never met my father. Sorry, Skull Gamer, to hear that. I think there's a lot of people in that situation, Skull Gamer. Or sometimes you could, like that story I've just said before, by the sounds of it, sometimes people have met the father, but they would be better off not doing in some situations. But it's not nice. Sorry, I'll crack on. Some people have got terrible parents, really, 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 really bad with not many positives. And they're just like a tyrant. And sometimes, I suppose, in that situation, you're better off not meeting them if it's like that, should I say. But I'm sorry that you never met your father, Skull Gamer. Sorry, I'm explaining things the best I can, guys, as imperfect as that is, of course. If I misinterpret anything anyone says, because all I've got is a written word here. If I misinterpret anything, please just explain if I've missed anything. And I don't mean to offend anyone with what I'm saying. That's not my intention. But if I upset anyone, just let me know. If I upset anybody, please let me know, and I'll think about what I've said. I'm just speaking in real time here as well. Sander's then saying, oh my God, that's so sad. And it must be really hard to carry all of this. Yes. Unimaginably hard. Cupboard of Cheese is saying that's awful. I agree, Cupboard of Cheese. Sander's then saying, I feel so deeply for this person. Oh, that's lovely, Sander. Dawn's then saying they can't see anyone happy and be at peace. No, some of these narcissistic parents, they don't want it. They can't. They don't want you to be fucking happy because they fucking hate themselves. They don't want you to be happy. And if you fucking dare smile, this is an example. If you dare smile, the narcissistic parent's going to go, oh, you're fucking smiling. You look confident today. I'm going to tear you fucking down. I'm going to use triangulation. I'm going to use people against you. I'm going to get your brother to fall out with you. I'm going to get your mum to fall out with you. I'm going to fuck around with the dog, piss the dog off, and then the dog's going to start biting. I'm just going to upset the peace. I'm going to create some drama. I'm going to create some shit. This is what these people can do. Deeply narcissistic people can do as well. And that's what they're always doing. They're always manipulating. They're always controlling. They don't know themselves. They can't even truly love themselves because it's a false persona a lot of the time. Therefore, they can't even love the children. And a lot of the time, sometimes they use their children as an extension of themselves. And the children, they just use for their own ego, for their own personal for their own personal gain. Whatever that is, as twisted as that's going to look as well. Just one moment, I'm just going to have a little bit of coffee, guys. I'm sorry if I'm not at my best today, guys. I'm a little bit ill. I sound a little bit nasal. I'm okay, but I'm not 100%. And just another one. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed. It means a lot. My name's Brad. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. I talk about self-development, self-improvement. Obviously talk about narcissistic parents today. I changed the topic. I changed the topics. I try to change the topics because I want to keep it interesting. My aim and intention is to help people. I just do lives at the moment. I've got some edited videos on there, but I'm just going with lives, man. I prefer the lives. It's more real. I'm not like desperate to. Obviously, I appreciate anyone that subscribed. I appreciate. Of course I do. And I hope that the channel can grow, of course, but it's just going to be like a steady, natural growth. It's going to happen organically, naturally. I'm not looking for clickbait or anything like that. I don't want to be that person. I think that's disingenuous and it's not good for the long term. I think things should happen naturally. I'm not trying to force anything. That's what I'm trying to say with regards to my channel. I was going to have a sip of coffee, then I'll go back to the comments. Thank you for sharing, by the way, guys. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, thanks for trusting me to share it with everybody. Yeah, I'm saying thank you. Cheers. 1 second, I'm just going to have this coffee. One moment. Sorry if I'm making loads of sounds while I'm drinking. I'm on the espresso. I'm fasting this morning. Helps me to focus. Let's go back to the comments, guys. Sorry if it's taken me a while to keep up with you, with everybody, but I'll get there eventually. Cupboard of cheese is then saying, one of my friends has a similar story and threatened to have family dog put down. That's awful. That's like a threat. If you don't do what I want to do, I'm going to fucking kill your dog. That's awful. Especially dogs. I see them as a family member. Dogs are so loving. They're so loving. They're amazing animals. Man's best friend, as they say. And it's so true, isn't it? And it's a member, in my opinion, a dog is a member of your family. You should look after them and respect them. And to say that you're going to put down a dog, basically, I'm going to kill your dog if you don't do what I'm threatening to kill a kid's dog is fucking awful. It's fucking disgusting. In my opinion, that's awful. Say that to a young person or anybody. Doesn't matter but even worse if they're young. It's bad to say it to anybody, especially your daughter, your child. That's just disgusting. Anyway, but they won't see it like that. They'll just think they're right. They'll not actually. They won't think they're right. In their heads, they'll know that they're right. It's absolutely fine to say, I'm going to put your dog down. That's in their heads. They don't have any empathy. They don't have any understanding of anyone else. They just care about themselves. It's all ego-driven. Deeply fucked up, in my opinion. It can go, there's levels to this as well. It's so varied. Anyway, Zuki's saying, yeah, she used to say things, Zuki is saying, yeah, she used to say things that were so hurtful and cruel and then deny saying them months later. That's gaslighting, Zuki. How dare you think that I said? I would never say that, etc. There's no acceptance of past. There's also no acceptance of responsibility. Zero accountability, basically, Zuki. Zuki then says, the doctors have no idea what's going on. I've had lots of investigations. So whatever is going on is a complicated condition. I'm really sorry, Zuki. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. And saying, thanks for team chat, love heart. Sending love back to you, Zuki. Sending love and healing back to you as best I can. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. I hope there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going. By the sounds of it, you've got a lot of wisdom. You've got a lot of Sorry, I'm trying to think of words to say to you, Zuki. It sounds like you're a very strong person and you've been through a lot and you're going through it right now. You're going through some shit right now. I'm really sorry to hear that. Keep your humanity, which I'm sure you will do. Keep up hope. Just keep on going the best you can. I know these things are easy said than done, but by love and respect to you, that's all I've got to say, Zuki. I'm sorry that you're going through the shit you're going through. Cupboard of Cheese then says, don't know if it's any good, but there's a film called Mommy Dearest. That's about narcissistic abuse. Mommy Dearest. Thanks, Cupboard of Cheese. I'm writing it down. Is it a good film, Cupboard of Cheese? I'm just going to change the subject on a lighter note. I watched have you heard of The Long Walk? It's by Stephen King. It's at the cinema in England at the moment. It's fucking amazing. The Long Walk. It's really good. It's like you're on the edge of your seat all the way through it. The film's called The Long Walk. Check it out. It's not linked to narcissism, but it's a dystopian type of thriller. I'd say it's a really good film. Anyway, back on topic. Cupboard of Cheese says it's about a Hollywood actress, I think, Joan Crawford. Yeah, I've heard of Joan Crawford. Interesting. Tripster 369. If somebody threatened my dog, it would be the last fucking thing they ever do. Tripster 369. Hi, my name's Brad, by the way. I absolutely agree. Tripster 369. Absolutely. If someone threatened to fucking kill your dog, that's your family member. I respect that, Tripster. Absolutely. Zuki's then saying, and that kind of long-term gaslighting robs us of any chance of closure. So we have to find our own ways of reconciliation. Very wise, Zuki. Very, very wise. Yeah, because you can't even, gaslighting, it's this, that you can't, trying to get the words out, guys, sorry. There's no chance of closure. There's no chance of, you can't have a reasonable conversation. You can't go with a reasonable, healthy person. You can go, oh, you know, the other day, like you said and did something and it upset me. And the other person, if they're reasonable, they go, oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. You'd have a discussion and then you'd iron it out. And then hopefully in the future, you wouldn't have to deal with these things. But there's no closure with these types of people. They're just none. It's not going to fucking happen. Even if it's your mum or your dad, it's just constant manipulation. It's constant bullshit. There's no, you can't, sounds really vague, this. Sometimes there's no understanding it. Sometimes it's just fucked up. That's what it is. It's fucked up. They're fucked in the head. And that's it. Sometimes all you've got to deal with is this person is fucked in the head. That's who they are. That's where they're at. They're never responsible for anything. That's all they're going to be. They've done it all their lives and they're fucking going to continue doing it. And there's no reasoning with fucked up. You cannot reason with someone who's fucked up. There's no fucking, they can't comprehend it. They're fucked in the head. And if it's your parents, it's even fucking, if it's someone you don't know, you go, oh, that person over there, do you know what? They're a fucking arsehole. They're a proper cunt. They're fucked in the head. And you go, do you know what? I'm not going to, just someone random that you know of. You just stay away from them. Easy peasy. Fuck off. Gone. Because you're never going to get emotionally attached to that type of person if you're clued up. But if it's your parents, it's so much difficult, so much harder, isn't it? So you have to find, like Kazuki's wisely said, you've just got to, you've got to find your own reconciliation. You've got to figure it out yourself. This can make you a very strong person, though, a very wise person. There's suffering. Life is, we all suffer. We all fucking suffer. And through that suffering is potential for growth. So there's light at the end of the tunnel with that. The school of life is hard, of course. The school of fucking life's hard, man. Anyway, Cupboard of Cheese is saying, my mother also gaslights. I know how it feels. Yeah, Cupboard of Cheese understands, of course. Hi, Nina. Good to have you with us, by the way. Nina's saying so true. Excuse me, sorry. Cupboard of Cheese saying, because events happened years ago, she can claim I'm misremembering or exaggerating. Yeah, it's all deflecting away from responsibility, isn't it? It's all, oh, that didn't happen. What are you on about? I did this. It wasn't my fault. Oh, you don't know what you're on about. You never underestimate the power of suggestion as well. Oh, you always get confused. You always get confused. You don't remember anything properly, do you? I know what you like. That kind of thing can come from them. It's all just to deflect responsibility. Sandra's saying, I'm listening to everything, but I'm doing my Sunday cooking. Oh, nice. What are you cooking, Sandra? Dawn saying, not sure about your health issues, but please check Dr. Anthony Chafe. I've heard of him before. Sandra's saying, I love this topic. It's so close to home. Well, yeah, it will be. And so important. Oh, thanks. I'm glad I'm covering it. I'll keep going in the comments. Zuki is then saying, cupboard of cheese, I feel that. It used to make me question my reality, yes. One moment. It used to make me question my reality. It made me think I was a problem. I'm glad I was able to see through the crap, but it takes time to see. Yeah, you're not going to see it straight away. One moment, Zuki. It takes a while. It's took me a while. Especially if it's conflicting. If they're not, if there's a lot of positives and then there's some negatives as well, it's even harder then, because you're thinking, oh, they're so nice to me, they're so kind, they're so loving, and without them, I wouldn't be who I am today. That's what I think to myself. Without my parents, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't. It's obviously a lot of it's down to myself as well. My own personal choices have got me to where I am, and it's conflicting. It can be really conflicting. This. I feel almost, do you know what I feel like as well sometimes? I feel guilty. I feel guilty for like saying anything bad about my mum and dad. I feel bad. I do. I fucking feel bad. That's what's hard for me. Really fucking hard, because my mum and dad aren't on that level with some of these things. They're not. They're kind. They're lovely people. They really are. They really are. But are they perfect? No, they weren't perfect. I'm going to go into details with that later on. It's hard for me to discuss, actually. And maybe I've not completely acknowledged everything myself either, if I'm open and honest. No, maybe I've not. Maybe I've not. It's a difficult one. It's deep, very deep. Well, it is for me, talking about these things. One moment. I wish I had all the answers, but I don't have all the answers, guys. I as well. I'm learning myself. Especially with regards to this one, I think this for me is quite deep. It is, honestly. Right, anyway, let's go. Let's crack on. Let's look at the comments. It's a cupboard of cheese saying, yeah, I was told I was a difficult child, so it was my fault. Oh, fucking hell, cupboard of cheese, that's shit. Again, blame. It's your fault. You're difficult, you're sensitive. That's what you're sensitive, you're sensitive. Being sensitive is basically a sign of it's a sign of emotional intelligence. Being sensitive is a sign of emotional intelligence. Oh, don't be so sensitive. Don't get upset. Therefore, just repress your emotions. Don't show your emotions. Don't you fucking show your emotions, because that's going to upset the apple cart. We don't want to upset the apple cart. Everything's peachy fucking creamy. Everything's perfect. No, it's not. I feel like shit. No. Don't be getting upset. Repress those emotions and carry on. That type of thing can happen as well. Suki saying, she made me feel like the problem child. I think it's likely where I get my self-depreciation from primarily. Can't say that word. Sorry. Self-depreciation. Yes, I know that very well, Zuki. Fucking hell, I do. I'm really hard on myself as well. Yeah. Are there consequences of growing up? Yeah. I think they are. I think there's roots to that. Also, it's personal. I think it's just how we are as well. But I think, yes, self-depreciation, man. Been there to fuck. Abu Bak, but Akar, I love you, bro. Oh, thanks. Sending love and respect back to you. Sorry, Abu Bak, boy. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. apologise. Sending love and respect back to you as well. Thank you. Couple of cheese saying that does seem likely, yeah. Zuki's then saying, and they use hold those positives over me. They used to tell me, you don't know how good you have it. I've heard that one as well, Zuki. And yes, conflict, guilt is very real. You don't know how good you've got it. You could be somewhere else. You could be something else. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I've heard that one, Zuki. Couple of cheese saying, "LOL, snap. Your mother and mine are similar." Couple of cheese saying, "I was well looked after." Zuki saying, "Snap back." It's good to know. Do you know what the best thing is as well? This is a good thing, in my opinion. It's good to. Sometimes it's good to know that you're not alone. Because it can feel very lonely in these kind of situations, even in a family dynamic, and you're experiencing all this nastiness and abuse or whatever it is, and you can feel like you're alone and no one understands you. No one's going to have a deep conversation with you because they can't. They don't have the ability to, and you can feel very, very fucking alone, especially growing up. But it's good to know that there's other people who experience things similar to yourself. This is what this is good for, by the way, guys, in my opinion. Sander's saying, Sander, it's homemade flatbreads and chicken thighs. Sounds lovely. Beef, potato stew, and chicken noodle soup. A lot of cooking going on there, Sander. You're cooking for the week, by the sounds of it. Sounds lovely. Couple of cheese. He's saying, thankfully, I recall specific events with clarity, so she couldn't gaslight me on certain events. Good on you. That shows strength of mind. Shows confidence as well. By the way, cupboard of cheese. As I'm sure you know, having that clarity of mind going, I know what fucking happened. Don't try and bullshit me. And you're standing firm with it. That's setting boundaries, cupboard of cheese. Good for you. Sander's then saying, so I'm on it, LOL. Good for you, Sander. Good. If you enjoy the cooking process, if that's what you're passionate about, good for you. And it's good to cook for the week, isn't it? Especially if you're working. Helps with meal prepping. And it's good to have home-cooked meals as well. It's a lot healthier, of course. Zuki's then saying, I would never deny the positives they brought for me. Good. But on the same page, I can't just ignore the negatives. Exactly, Zuki. That's where it's conflicting, though, isn't it? It's hard. It's fucking hard. But it's good to acknowledge the positives. It's good to show appreciation towards those positives as well. But you can't ignore the negatives. Yeah, that's where the growth is. That's what needs to be worked on. That's where the boundaries are needed to protect yourself going forwards. Couple of cheese saying, yes, same. Zuki saying, Sander B sounds lovely. I agree, Zuki. Sander saying, it's very personal, Brad, and you don't need to open up or acknowledge anything if you're not ready, don't want to. Thanks, Sander. Yeah, it is. And I'm exposing myself as well. I'm speaking in person about things. And I don't want to upset people either. I don't want to upset people. Fuck, it's hard though sometimes. I think there's levels to this as well. And everyone's individual circumstances are different, of course. Let me just drink this tea one moment. Sander's saying, thanks, Zuki. I like home-cooked foods. It's the Eastern European in me, LOL. Home-cooked food's the best, man. Good food could be a sort of like medicine. Food could be a medicine or a poison, can't it? Cupboard of cheese is saying, I have disorganized attachment. I've never heard of that. Cupboard of cheese. Because she could be loving one moment, but then suddenly snap and become abusive. Yeah. Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? I've not seen that. I've seen that with partners. Ex-girlfriends that I had that was like that, by the way, cupboard of cheese. I've been there in that situation with regards to that. So you can say cupboard of cheese, it's true. It's such a weird dynamic when they take negative actions and simultaneously take offense to being seen as negative. Let me break that down. Yeah, they act like absolute arseholes, okay? They do bad things, and then they're offended that they're seen as being a bad person. Like, I'm not a bad person. I might have punched him in the face a few times, but I'm not a bad guy. That kind of thinking. It's like, yeah, you've just punched someone in the face. They're bleeding. You've hurt them. Yeah, and they'll come up with some shit, and they're like, I'm still a good person, because they don't want to be seen as bad. They don't want to acknowledge anything. can be weird, confusing, Zuki. Yes, absolutely. Sanders then saying, yes, Brad, I try and prepare myself for the work week on Sundays. Yeah, good use of your time, Sander. Smart. With regards to meal preps. A couple of cheats saying, I think it's because they think they can justify or negate their negative actions. Zuki saying, I really appreciate the vulnerability and openness on the stream. Yes, thanks, Zuki. That's what I want to portray. I just want to be genuine and open. That's it. It's all open discussion. And it's also, I like to think it's like a collaborative kind of thing as well. It's not just me. Obviously, it's me speaking out loud, but it's you guys commenting as well, which is what makes this work, really. It's all about people helping each other, people growing, personal development, becoming stronger, becoming and able to build our resilience. This is all about building resilience, having these discussions as well, because whole life can be hard, as I'm sure you know. And how do you get through this? I think you've got to be true. You've got to be genuine. You've got to be true. Truth always comes out eventually anyway, doesn't it? In life, in my opinion. Lies will hit the hard rocks of reality eventually. Lies can win to begin with. They can even win for a long time sometimes. But lies will hit the hard rocks of reality eventually. And reality will always show the truth. So it's good to live truthfully. As imperfect as that's going to fucking be, let's be honest. Anyway, cupboard of cheese is, I think there are 4 attachment styles, like anxious, disorganized, secure attachment is the positive one. Do you know what? I've not really looked at that cupboard of cheese. I need to look into it. I've not really come across it. Thank you, though, by the way, for bringing it up. Something that every day is a school day, mate, basically. Type of thinking. Zuki said, because being subjected to these negative behaviors has a way of making the person feel alone or distance from others in general. And it's important to discuss these things and connect with others in a similar situation. Of course it is. Of course it is. We can all help each other. I agree, Zuki. Cupboard of cheese saying, thankfully, a counsellor made me aware of them. A lot of people won't be aware of that either, cupboard of cheese, at all. Knowledge is power as well, of course, if it's used correctly. One moment, guys, sorry. Just having a little drink. Zuki's saying it also helps to affirm the reality of what's happened. Yeah, it's like, I'm not crazy. I'm like, you can second guess yourself, can't you? You can second guess yourself in these situations, thinking that you might be crazy or you're in the wrong. But it's good to discuss these things and people acknowledge them and share. That's a good thing. But you've got to do it, Zuki, in my opinion, as well, though. These types of things you can't share with anybody. And if you've got bad friends or toxic friends, they could use these things against you. So be careful who you share these things with. Obviously, in this format, it's I'm trying to go in a bit deep here, I suppose, to an extent. I'm going off topic a little bit. But you can type in these things on here. It's different, isn't it? It's not person to person, is it? It is person to person, but it's done digitally. And I think that helps people to share things, which is a good thing. But out and about in society, within your community or whatever, your friends or whatever, I think you've got to be careful who you share things with as well, especially if they're in your social circle, because they could use it against you, is what I'm trying to say. I've got off on a tangent there. Cupboard of cheese saying, another thing to be aware of is the schemas, which are the defense mechanism mindset that abuse causes. Zuki's saying, very good point. Zuki's saying, tracing back my ongoing mental struggles has been very valuable, but certainly not easy. No, it's not easy work. Zuki, a lot of people avoid this. They won't even discuss it. They just carry on, or they just self-medicate. And some of these things are going to help. And this alcohol, drugs can be taken just to prevent to ignore the trauma, don't they? They block it a lot of the time. They don't acknowledge it. Couple of cheese saying my mother would justify her actions by saying they would happen all the time in other households. Like, yeah, this weird shit that's going on. Couple of cheese. You know this weird shit that's going on. Everyone's doing this weird shit. That's what they're trying to say. Like, this is normal. It's like, is it? You can sometimes as well. If you grow up in a crazy household, that's your normal. That fucked up shit is your normal, and you can believe that as well. But in the reality is, it's not. But you might not be aware of that at the time, cupboard of cheese. Zuki saying, I certainly relate to self-medicating, unfortunately. It's not always a bad thing, Zuki, though. Sometimes it can be a good thing. It's working away from it, but only when you're ready. And sorry, I'm not a doctor. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I don't. It's complex, that, Zuki. That's your individual thing. Obviously, speaking to a doctor, a psychotherapist, or whatever, professional, which I am not, of course. Let's be open and honest. You can achieve those things coming away from that, but I think that's very individualized. But if it's helping you, that's a good thing. If there's a lot of positives and very few negatives from doing that, if that's working for you right now, that's not a bad thing. That's all I've got to say on that one. Zuki's then saying, but when we aren't imparted with the tools and techniques to handle the distress, it becomes hard to find those tools later in life. Yes, very wise, Zuki. I agree. A couple of cheeses and saying, when I broke away from her, I would ask other people, they would say their parents hit them once or twice in a heated situation, but long-term abuse wasn't the norm. And sometimes as well, these parents or whatever, let's say these narcissists, they'll be horrible with you because you're close to them. They'll treat you like shit. You'll see all the ugly behaviors, but with other people, they'll be fucking polite as hell. They'll be charming as well. So people can think they can present as like these lovely, amazing people to the outside world, but inside the house, behind closed doors, they're a different person. Therefore, creating more confusion in your head because everyone else is saying how amazing they are, but deep down you know they're not. They're pretending. That happens as well. Sorry, guys, just having a little moment, little rest. Couple of cheese saying, when I broke away from her, oh, you've already said that, sorry. Sana said, oh my God, my sister said that to me last time I was home. On every family is dysfunctional and has issues. And then, okay, then that makes it so much better. Like, yeah, everyone's fucked up, so it's all good. We're all a nice, happy bunch of fucking toxic bastards. It's all good. Everyone's a toxic bastard, so that's the norm. So that means everything's okay. Does it? No. But that's what you can hear as well. Good point, Sander. Zuki's then saying, my method of self-medicating weed, that's not so... Zuki, that's not all bad. Weed can be helpful, I suppose. It's a super plant, isn't it? It's something I'm currently coming away from as I'm moving back in next week. Does the weed help you though, Zuki? It can help you calm down, can't it, as well? Relaxes you. Anti-inflammatory with the CBT as well. Weed is a super plant. It's not always used to get stoned. It can be used for other things as well, as I'm sure you're all aware. As Sanna's saying, my sister created toxic tools to protect herself. It's obvious. Yeah. Zuki's then saying, it's sad that their dysfunction becomes normalized. Yeah, it's sad. That means you're deeply in it then. You're deeply, deeply in it. And that maintains the status quo. So that maintains the status quo, doesn't it? If this fucked up shit is normalized, then we're just going to carry on like it's normal. That's when you're deep down the rabbit hole then. Couple of cheeses saying, yeah, at an early age, I saw my mother as two different people, the outward face and the one at home. Absolutely. The persona, the mask to the outside world, that everything's perfect and I'm peachy fucking creamy. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I'm an amazing, lovely, charming, charismatic person, for example, but behind closed doors, I'm a monster. For example, should I say. Suki's then saying, it does help me. I think it's more of the fact that I'm coming off being self-medicated whilst at the same time going into a stressful situation like moving back. So I need to adapt new coping ways. Yeah, you do. At least you're forewarned, Zuki. Therefore, potentially you're forearmed. But then it's just implementing those boundaries, I suppose, put them in place. Think about if you can think about. I think you probably already thought about this by the sounds of it. You can, if you know what the behaviours are, if there's a pattern of behaviour, you know what they're going to do. You can see what they're going to do. You know what the tricks are. Then you've got forearmed, aren't you? You're ready. If you think, right, I'm going to respond with this for this. I'm going to respond with that for that. And maybe all these responses might not be perfect, but you're putting boundaries in place. Cupboard of cheese. I've got to go, but great chatting with everyone. Thanks, Cupboard of cheese, for joining us. Good to have you with us. Thank you. Keep up the good work. I'll try my best, Cupboard of cheese. I don't always do deep ones like this. Sometimes I just do open charts and I talk about random stuff sometimes, like lighter topics. However, I do believe that the deeper topics are important as well. I like to be varied. Enjoy your Sunday, Cupboard of cheese. I'm just gonna have a little sip. One moment. I'm gonna go one second. I'm just going back to my notes, guys. So we've covered narcissistic parents really well. Obviously, we're still on the topic, but how is it going to affect us? So let me just go back to this. Zuki's asking, how often do you tend to do streams? Definitely want to tune in again. Zuki, I do every Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning, like this, a longer one. I do this every Sunday. I work as a scrub nurse. I work in theatres, basically. I work in operational theatres as a scrub nurse. So I try to do 2 lives during the week. However, I struggle. I can't be as structured with those lives because I work different hours during the week and I get tired, of course. So I do another 2 lives during the week, but I'm not structured with those. Sorry. Maybe at some point I'll get to that point. But definitely Sunday, 10 o'clock, every Sunday I'm here. And during the week, I just randomly do them and it's different topics. But if you click subscribe, you click on the notification button, you know when my lives are going to come out. So yeah, that's Atsuki. Sorry, right. So I'm moving on. We've talked about what narcissistic parents are. Of course we have. But how does it affect us? How does it affect us? People have already discussed these things already, but I'm going to go a bit deeper onto that. Give me a moment. I'm just typing something in. So people... How narcissistic parents can affect us. How does it affect how we behave as people? We've probably covered quite a lot of that already, but how does it affect us psychologically as well is a question. How narcissistic parents can affect us. So, growing up in that environment is going to leave you marks. It's going to leave scars. Going to leave scars, isn't it? It's going to impact you, how you behave, how you are. We can become people who constantly doubt ourselves. I'm really, really hard on myself. Do I doubt myself? Absolutely. All the fucking time, man. All the time. Is it my personality that's coming from? I'm really, really hard on myself, you know. I beat myself up really, really badly. I used to be a lot worse when I was younger, but it's still there. It helps me motivate me, I suppose. Being hard on myself gives me a kick up the arse. A bit of that's a good thing, but too much is bad. But do I doubt myself? Yes, I do. I do doubt myself. I'm really hard on myself. I have like a perfectionist mindset, whatever that is. Is it linked to some of these things potentially? We may feel responsible for other people's emotions. Guess what? I do that as well. I don't want people to feel bad. I feel bad when other people feel bad. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't upset anybody. I want to keep the peace. What's that sounding like? That sounded like a people pleaser, isn't it? It sounded like a people pleaser. And some of these things are good. It's good to have these things, isn't it? Good to be like that sometimes. It's good to be like that sometimes. It's good to have those, but they're positive traits. Oh, I don't want to upset anyone. I want everyone to feel good. I want everyone to be happy. I want to try and make everyone happy. These are not bad things. These are a good way to be. But done too much, you become too much of a people pleaser. And then people, what they're going to do, they're going to walk all over you. They're going to fucking walk all over you. And you can't have that shit. Do you want to be a doormat? Do I fuck want to be a doormat? That's what can happen. Unfortunately, that's how life is. Kind, nice people will respect those traits. They'll go, oh, you're really nice. You're really kind. Positive, healthy people will love being around people like that, and they'll treat you with respect, and that's all good and well. But there's people out, not everyone's like that though, are they? They're not. Some people are unscrupulous, aren't they? Some people are unscrupulous. They're not kind. So you need to protect yourself. I'm advising, how do I know these things? Because I've fucking lived it. Anyway, and I'll go back to the comments in a moment, Zuki, sorry. Sometimes we're referring to my notes a little bit, but I'm adding lib as well, of course. Sometimes we grow into adults who find it hard to set boundaries. Hard to set boundaries because saying no used to bring guilt or conflict. You want to avoid the conflict. You want to avoid the guilt. And you don't want to say no. You just want to agree with it. You want to keep the peace because you want to try and calm the situation down. But if you're in a dysfunctional situation, everyone's been fucked up, you're trying to appease them all the time, keep the peace, be the emotional anchor in a way, I suppose. And yet, many of us also develop, one moment. But what happens is, on a positive, many of us are going to end up developing resilience. If you come through this shit, you're going to get stronger. That's where we're going. That's what we're working towards. That's what you want to be. Resilience. Having true empathy, having true feeling, and awareness. Awareness is a big thing. A lot of the world are not aware. It's great to be aware. Sometimes it's painful to be aware because it's fucking ugly out there. Sometimes to be aware of what's going on. But I think that's a good thing. Because we've had to navigate complex dynamics from a young age. We've had to navigate all this twisted, weird shit from a young age. We've come out of the fire, basically, potentially. One moment, let me have a sip of tea. Zuki is saying, my dad used to make me apologise for things that weren't my fault. Oh, I'm sorry, Zuki. To keep the peace is all very relatable. Yeah, you take the blame. Get your kids to take the blame. That's awful, Zuki. Sorry. Just to keep the peace. You're walking on eggshells that have already broken. You don't want to upset the apple cart. I think sometimes if I get upset sometimes when I was younger. I get angry or emotional. No one knew what to do with me, Zuki. They didn't know what to do with me. Especially when I was a teenager. I was messed up as a teenager, really fucked up. I ended up getting into drugs as well, Zuki, at some point. I'm 42 now. I'm healthy now. Touch wood. I've got a responsible job. I work as a nurse. I've done really fucking well. But when I was younger, I was fucked up, man. I was fucked up. And I used to get very emotional as a teenager, and they didn't know what to do with me. They were doing their best though. They weren't all bad. They really weren't all bad. But they didn't know what to do with me, and I ended up taking drugs for a long time, man. I was self-medicating unconsciously for a long time, for a good over 10 years. I was fucked. I was a mess, man, honestly. Sorry, I'm just sharing that with you. There's much more to that. Josh is saying, some parents don't deserve to have kids bad. Do they? Fuck, Josh. I agree with you, Josh. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Josh. Abso-fucking-lutely. Some parents don't deserve to have kids. Do they? Fuck. And sometimes it's the people that should have kids that don't have them. It's children having children. Dysfunctional children having children as well, which is going to be messy. I see a lot of it out there now. I saw it at the shopping market yesterday. These kids were wild. The parents were messed up. It was an absolute mess. Absolute fucking mess. That was in the supermarket that I saw yesterday. The kids were just wild. Not the kids' fault. Parents were just fucked up. They were erratic, let's say that. It's a mess. It's a mess out there sometimes as well. Zuki's saying, Josh, parental love is supposed to be the most unconditional type of love. It is, I agree. And it's hard when parents place conditions on their expression of love. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I think I had a lot of positives as well growing up as well, by the way. It's not all always me, by the way, with regards to my story. There's a lot of positives, so many. There really is. It could have been a lot worse for me personally, in my opinion. And not trying to discredit anyone else's story because everyone's got individual ones, as I keep saying. So you keep saying you're walking on eggshells that are already broken. Definitely noted that down. Very accurate. Yeah, it is. Them eggshells are fucking broke, mate. You're tiptoeing. You're trying to dodge bullet. You're trying to duck and weave. But it's already a mess. It's already done. Sandy's saying, I always walked on eggshells in my household. Wasn't allowed to have feelings. My voice was never heard. And I was taught to shut up and do the cleaning and cooking. Who are you to have an opinion? Yeah, shut the fuck up. Clean that. Cook that. And don't you get upset. You're not allowed to be upset. You're upset at the apple cart here. We're all happy families here. There's no emotions shown. It's just nod and get on with it. Superficial conversations, nothing ever deep. No acknowledgement of your feelings or understanding of yourself. It's just surface level consciousness, isn't it? Just nothing deep, nothing like that. We're not going down that road. We're not going to solve any deeper psychological issues. We're just going to maintain this happy bullshit status quo. Don't be complaining. That's what I'm getting from that. Sorry, Sandra, I'm not saying don't complain, but I'm just going with what you said. Sandra's saying, this is Eastern Europe, really negative. Eastern Europe's really negative side. Women are like third world citizens and an extremely patriarchal culture. Yeah. There's more to that patriarchal culture, I suppose. There's pros and cons. What's the culture like here in England? How's that going? Not well. But it's not nice to be treated like a third-class citizen either. I think there needs to be a healthier way of doing things. That's another conversation. Sorry, I'm not going to go into that right now. But I can see why it's not pleasant. Let's say that much, at the very least. Zuki saying, I'm sorry to hear that, Sander. Zuki then saying, I was had a go at, for looking sad or depressed, where I really needed them to ask me what's going on. Yeah, I've been there as well. I get annoyed at you for being upset. They get annoyed at you for upsetting the apple cart. They just don't want to know. They just shut it down like, fucking no, I'm not dealing with this shit now. This is too much for me. Don't be upset. You're not allowed to, you never feel heard. You never feel like your feelings are discussed. So therefore those feelings are repressed. But those feelings are not going to go away. That emotional turmoil is not going away. You might repress it. You will repress it in that situation. But that's been stored away in Pandora's box and the deep insecurities in yourself. And that is going to affect you growing up, potentially. Sandra's saying, thank you, Zuki. I'm on my healing journey now and I'm in therapy. I moved away from my family. Best things they ever did for me. Good for you, Sandra. Good work. Well done. I bet your therapy is not easy either. It's not easy. A lot of hard work. The hard road will take you home, though, man. The hard fucking road will take you home. Those uncomfortable feelings and things, if you deal with them, that's where the gold is. Suki saying, Sandy B, I'm super glad you got to spread your wings and flee the nest. That's lovely, Suki. Sandra's saying, thanks, Brad, for talking about these things. It's okay. No worries. I can't do this every time, but I don't mind talking about these things sometimes, but I don't do it every time because I find it can be quite emotionally draining. It's really positive that we talk about these things. It's very interesting as well. I think it's very important. Helps us to grow and move on from things and to live our best life, let's say, potentially. But sometimes I like to talk about lighter things as well. But this is what the topic we're onto today. But my other lives aren't always going to be the same like this, by the way, just to be open and honest. And if anyone wants me to talk about anything, then just write on the community tab on the YouTube channel. And if you want to type anything, if you want me to bring it up anything, I'll consider it and bring it up in the future lives. if you want me to. Anyway, Sandra's then saying, yes, Suzuki, and there was never my feelings, only theirs. So only their feelings matter, yours don't. That's shit, isn't it? Especially my mother, she was always the center of attention and upset. So they take up a lot of room, they take up a lot of space. How do they do that? They do that by creating drama, by being emotional, by being erratic, creating all the bullshit. So if you're like a more healthy person in that situation, all the attention goes to the negative person, doesn't it? They're taking up so much space with their energy, with the chaotic crap. They're dragging people into the drama. How do they drag you into the drama? They'll get your opinion on things. They'll convince you about a story or a scenario that's going on. Just all fucked up shit that's negative. And then if you're a healthy, normal person, your emotions and your thoughts and feelings aren't even considered because they're just too caught up in their own shit. Sorry, but I'm just going with what you're saying. I'm adding lib to what you're saying, trying to interpret the best I can. Again, if I get anything wrong, guys, just let me know. I'm trying to interpret the sentences that are said here. I might misunderstand some things though, but I'm doing my best. So anyway, so what to Sandra's comment? Yes, Suki, there was never my feelings, only theirs, which I've just discussed. Especially my mother, she was always the center of attention and upset all the time. So we had to comfort her, never mind us. Yeah, absolutely. Zuki's sending a love heart to Josh. That's beautiful. Josh is saying, unfortunately. Zuki's saying, Sandra, I feel you there. Sandra's then saying, I love that. The hard road will take you home. Yeah, it will. The hard road will take you home. Yeah, it fucking will. Is it going to be easy? No, it's hard. It's hard. Do most people avoid it? Yeah, they fucking avoid it. They avoid it. But there's a downside to that because those insecurities are still there. They're not worked on and it gets uglier. It gets very ugly. Affects you. Sandra's giving Zuki a hug. Josh says, okay. Zuki says, Josh, sending love. I'm sorry to hear that you've been through that, but as you say, you are a survivor. You can work through this. Sorry, Josh, I might have missed your comment. I'm sorry if I missed your comment, Josh. Let's go through the comments 1 sec. Sandra's saying emotional manipulation. I might have missed your comment, Josh. I can't see it. Sorry if I missed anything, Josh, by the way. Apologise. Sandra's saying, Zuki, oh, thank you. That's beautiful. I agree. We're strong and resilient. Same goes for you, Zuki. Please protect yourself once back with them. Yes. Josh is saying my mother is a narcissist. I'm sorry to hear that, Josh. Fucking hell, not easy. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Thanks for explaining that, Josh. Sandra's saying, again, I love this beautiful community here. Thank you, Sandra. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see what we're achieving. It's good. It's positive. Zuki saying, I'm glad I came across this today. Yeah. I've only just started out, Zuki, as well. I've not got many subscribers. Maybe there's a beauty in that as well. I do this because I enjoy it. And I genuinely want to help people. That's my intention. But I'm only a small channel. Anyway, let me go back to my notes, guys. Let me just turn the page. So what patterns do you think you've carried into adulthood when talking about the impact? I think we've discussed those things. Have you ever felt like you had to walk on eggshells around a parent? We've kind of discussed those things. I am Frank says hi. Hello, I am Frank. Good to have you with us. My name's Brad, by the way. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. I'm talking about narcissistic parents today, Frank. I've not even been on this channel before, but usually I talk about self-improvement, personal development, psychology, narcissism, and other things as well, lighter topics sometimes, but it's quite a heavy one today, Frank. But I think it's an important one, talking about growing up and narcissistic parents and how it can affect us as we grow, as we get older. The consequences of being in those environments. One moment, guys, I'm just looking at my notes a moment, just having a little rest. 1 second. Hope that you're okay, by the way, Frank. Right, I've got a question. I'll ask a question to the group. 1 moment. What's something from childhood that you notice that still shows up in your life today? Sorry, guys, I'm going quiet a moment. Do you notice repeated patterns from narcissistic parents? Do you notice any patterns? Are they still doing the same things they were doing years ago? I can only type so much in here. Oh, I only like... Sorry, guys, it's taking me forever to type this in. And I can only type so many words in here. Do you notice these patterns from narcissistic parents? Sorry, guys, I've gone a bit quiet. So I'm saying, I'm good, thanks, Frank. Frank says, how are you? That's nice. Chandra then says, people pleasing, definitely, and I struggle to set boundaries at times. Those are the two main ones, I think. Yeah, struggles, people pleasing, been there, done that. Still do it now to an extent, but I'm better with it now. I put boundaries in place. What a good one, I think. Sorry, changing subject a little bit. Answer that question if you can. Do you notice any patterns from narcissistic parents? I could only type so much into that question, by the way. So do you notice things that they used to do years ago that they still do now? Is it still happening, is the question. A good one is when you say no, you say yes to yourself. This is one thing that helped me. When you say fucking no, you say yes to yourself. Absolutely. And also another one is when I've noticed someone's trying to manipulate me. They're trying to guilt trip me. I go, my guilt button's not working. It's broke. My guilt button's not working. Basically, it helps. Those types of things help me to become less of a people pleaser and hopefully help me to not feel guilty for saying no. Do you notice any patterns from narcissistic parents is the question now. I'm just going to have a little sip of water, have a little rest a moment. Sandra's saying, of course, LOL. It's always the same once I'm back home. The distance has created some natural boundaries, though. I love that. Yeah, it will. If you're away from them, also, if you're financially independent and you're away from them and you're in your own environment, that's a natural boundary in itself. You're self-reliant. You're independent instead of being dependent, which is a good place to be. Not everyone can achieve that, and I understand why. It's hard. But if that's a natural boundary, I agree, Sandra. Josh is saying, a loving family when you're younger has everything to do with your future and how you could turn out. Josh, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. We still have, this is easy said than done, Josh, man. I think I had a lot of love growing up as well, by the way. I did. That's where I'm at today as well. I think I've turned out quite well. I've been quite lucky in a lot of ways as well. So this is some of these things are conflicting with me because I've not had the same experiences as everybody else. I think I have suffered some trauma though growing up, some signs of narcissism, but not as much as others, if I'm honest. But I agree, Josh. A a loving family when you're younger has everything to do with your future. Yeah, it's nurture, isn't it? It's not nurture. But if you nurture something, what's it going to do? It's going to grow, isn't it? Nurture is love and respect. It's going to shape how you turn out. However, we still have personal choice. You have a choice to, you can become, if you get treated like shit, if you get bullied, let's say if you get bullied, easy one. If you get bullied, you can become the bully. Some people become the bully because they were bullied. Or you can choose, you can go, do you know what, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to be improved on that. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be caring. I'm going to be a better person. So you do have personal choice, Josh, but I bet it's easier said than done. But it can determine where you go. A lot of people as well, it's like, when you're successful, some people are successful. Success is determined by different factors. It's all individualized with regards to success. But some people, I'm going to use Lewis Hamilton as an example. Maybe it's not the best example, but it's an example. Lewis Hamilton did not come from a rich family. He's a Formula One driver. He's been a world champion 7 times. But if it wasn't for his dad used to work 3 or 4 jobs, and his dad nurtured him. He provided him with the money. He used to work 3 or 4 jobs, his dad, and gave him the platform to do motorcar racing, go-kart racing, I think it was to start with. If he didn't have that parent nurturing him, he wouldn't have got to where he is. This is maybe a bit of a vague example. And I suppose sometimes a lot of us as well, like if you've got parents who don't nurture you, they're just not nice to you, let's say, they're toxic towards you, they're not going to nurture you to do anything, so it's much harder to be successful in that situation. Sorry if I'm not explaining that perfectly. Josh, you said break the cycle though. Fucking good on you, Josh. Like we say, absolutely break the cycle. Don't carry on the trauma. What's it called? I forgot the name of it. It's family trauma, isn't it? There's another word for it. It's like a historical trauma. Like great grandparents were arseholes. Grandparents passed it down to the grandparents, passed it down to the parents, passed it down to the child. That generational trauma, isn't it? Generational trauma. Break the cycle. End it. That's mastery. That's strength. That's great. That is great. That's the ideal, Josh. That means you're winning, man. Break the cycle. I agree. Sanders then saying, Josh, my therapist says even people who were told by parents that they loved them and they were loved still have trauma, LOL, and go to therapy. Yeah. Obviously, as well, think about it. I'm just trying to be a little bit thinking. Imagine a parent, right? It's not easy. Life's hard. It depends what culture you grow up in, what age you grow up in, what years you're growing up in, the societal pressures. There's no trying to be understanding towards parents here as well. It's not an easy job. You could have children really young. You've had a shit upbringing yourself. It's been fucking awful beyond words, let's say. And then this generational trauma. And some of these parents, what they'll do is they'll be better than what they had it. They'll improve upon it, but they don't have the ability to absorb all that trauma, so they pass some of it on to the children. And a lot of the time, I think some parents, they're doing their best, but they're human, they're imperfect, and some of that negativity is going to be transferred to the younger children sometimes. And a lot of instances, I do have understanding. I try to be understanding as well. I bet it's not easy being a parent. I bet you're not going to get things perfectly. You could be overworked, tired, stressed, and some of that is going to filter down to the children, isn't it, potentially? I think it's good to be understanding as well, but it depends on the situation. Of course. That's noticing and acknowledging the positives. That's thinking of it from another perspective as well. There's levels to it, as I keep saying. Truly narcissistic people, really, really toxic, fucked up people that's so selfish. That's another level, though. That's another level, isn't it? I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, though, and try to understand people as well. I don't want to sound like an ass. I try not to sound like an asshole. I'm going off on a tangent there, guys. Sorry. One moment. Sounds be saying it's such a complex thing, Josh. Zuki, generational trauma is, passed down, isn't it? Silent generation. Who were the silent generation? The silent generation were born, probably getting a few dates wrong. So let's say the 1940s to the early 1960s was the silent generation of people. Then you've got obviously baby boomers, 60s onwards, Generation X, millennials. Sorry, I forgot the younger ones. I'm showing my age there. I'm a class as a millennial, whatever. Anyway, different times. You were born during the war, World War II. Things were fucking harsh. Life expectancy wasn't so good. They didn't have so much knowledge then. And the silent generation would have been very brutal, potentially. The parenting was a lot stricter. Society was a lot different. I'm explaining this very vaguely. But generational trauma, really, people have gone through hell. They've gone through shit. And then they're just really strict and they're really stern and they're really brutal. And there's deep narcissism going on. And it just passes on from generation to generation. That's what generational trauma is. And it's a very vague thing. It's basically trauma that's traveling. It's not dealt with. It's been passed down like an infection kind of thing. There's more to that, Zuki, by the way, but that's just my quick explanation of it. I'm going to ask another question, guys. Do you find yourself second-guessing yourself? Is the question I'm leaving there. Josh is saying, I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD from past trauma. God, I'm sorry, Josh. Sounds like you've been through some shit, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. How are you dealing with that is the question. You don't have to answer, by the way. It's not pressure, mate. How are you dealing with that going forwards? Always trust your gut instincts. Yeah, man. Energy doesn't lie, Josh, mate. Intuition, isn't it? Your gut. You know when something don't feel right. Even if someone's presenting really nicely, they could be charismatic, they could be charming, they sound too good to be true, for instance, but your gut's going, there's something not right here. This is off. This is overdone. This is over-exaggerated. Usually over-exaggerated people that seem too good to be true, seem too perfect. Usually a sign, just an example of that. I agree. Always trust your gut instinct. You can usually feel it. Usually it's right. Actually, you could argue it's always right. But have you ever ignored your gut instincts? I have. I've ignored them to my own peril. So you don't need to second guess yourself, as you can see right through the bullshit. Yeah. If you've got that, then that's a sign of self-mastery, Josh. Have I ever have I ever done that? Self-guessing myself? Yes, absolutely. Am I sure about this? Am I right about this? Coming from a thinking of, I want to give people a benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be misjudging someone, etc., these are nice things to do, of course. It's coming from a good place, but you've got to be mindful because there's very unscrupulous people out there that will shit all over you. And there's people that will take your kindness for a weakness. And you've got to protect yourself. And if you trust in your gut instinct, like Josh is saying, and you can see through the bullshit, man, you protect you. That's a massive. You're strong in that situation, aren't you? You're not allowing any crap. The eyes never lie. True. I agree, man. The eyes are the windows to the soul, as they say. The eyes never lie. Absolutely. Have you ever spoke to someone, Josh, and there's blank, they're blank, their eyes are just blank. There's like nothing there, like numb. Or there's like darkness there, you can see it, conceited. I agree. Sandra's saying, oh, I definitely doubt and second guess myself, but I've learned to love myself a lot. That's really good, Sandra. That's going to help you stop second guessing yourself. You love yourself a lot more, and I take no bullshit anymore. Good for you. That's the work. That's where we want to get to, isn't it? That's where you want to get to. That's coming out the other end of all this shit. So you're saying, Sandra, I absolutely, I think everyone, at least 99.9, nearly everybody can benefit from therapy if they apply it properly. Yes, Suki, I agree. It can help people. But who does most of the work? You might think it's your therapist. The therapist is helping you, for example. However, it's the individual that does the work or doesn't do the work. You could go to 1,000 therapy sessions and get nowhere. Or you could go to just a handful of therapy sessions and move mountains. It's the work that you put in yourself. Some people think, oh, I'm going to go to the therapist, they're going to fix me. Like, no. I remember going to the dentist. I had bad teeth at one point. They're better than they were. I had gum disease because I was brushing my teeth poorly. And I thought, oh, I'll go to the dentist. The dentist will fix me. The dentist said to me, I do 10% of the work and you do 90% of the work. Meaning that it's the work that I put in. I was responsible for my own teeth. I'm responsible for my own health as much as possible. I know it's not always easy. And you're responsible for your mental health. It's having that accountability, owning it. So we do most of the work to look after your health and everything. I know it's not always perfect. Some things happen that you can't control at all, which is different. But we're responsible for with regards to therapy or even brushing your teeth. You're responsible for that. A lot of people, I work in a theatre, I work in operational theatre, I work in a hospital, help surgeons basically, pass them instruments, whatever. I'm a scrub nurse. And a lot of people, they come in and think, oh, they want to be fixed. And they think, oh, if I have this operation, that's it, good, I'm good. But there's a lot of it's the work that you do yourself. This is my point. Sorry if I'm going off on one. Hi, Maggot. Good to have you with us, Maggot. I hope that you're okay. How's life in Australia? You say my bad childhood was a good training ground for me to become a good father. That's beautiful, Maggot. That's a home run all the way. Yeah. You've come out the other end. I believe that I'm on the receiving end of, Maggot, do you know what? I think I'm on the receiving end of a lot of what you've just said. I think my parents had a bad. My parents had a bad upbringing, trust me. Really fucking shit, Maggot. And the mum and dad aren't perfect. They're not. But a lot of what they do has been good as well, really good. And if they'd have treated me like they got, if my mum and dad's upbringing and they did the same to me, I would be a different person, I believe. I do. And that's a good thing, Maggot. Well done to you. That's massive respect. That's therefore, what's that doing, Maggot? You're ending that generational trauma, or you're at least absorbing most of it. That's a really good thing. That's personal choice as well, Maggot, isn't it? You chose to go that way. You chose the hard road. The easy road is just to continue the shit. You could even argue the cowardly way would be to you be bullied and become the bully would be the cowardly way of doing things. It's not dealing with it, is it? It's just continuing the trauma and then passing it on to somebody else. And you haven't done that, Maggot, by the sounds of it, which is amazing. Well done. Credit to you. And your children are lucky to have had that experience. Suki saying, so true, Josh. Tanya saying, Josh, what do you mean that the eyes never lie? Sanders then saying, Maggot, yeah, good for you. I agree. Sanders then saying, Zuki, too high of a percentage, 70 to 80% is more correct. What, that will benefit from it? I don't know. It depends how you apply it. Suki's saying, I feel like the sign of a good therapist is one that allows you the space and helps you to build the tools for you to safely and effectively self-therapize. Yes. And don't push you too hard, but don't push you too softly as well, I'd say, Suki. It's getting that right balance. And some days you can move the world, and other days you're just getting through the day. So it's if you're really struggling, it's hard to push someone who's really in a really dark place. But if they eventually grow stronger, then they're capable of doing more. Sandra's saying, Brad, my therapist always reminds me that I'm doing the hard work, not him. That's the sound of a good therapist, by the way. That's true, isn't it? You're doing the work. He's guiding you, but you're doing the work. He or she is guiding you, should I say. Sandra's saying, Suki, completely agree. You must feel safe and comfortable. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Absolutely. Suki says it should provide long-lasting benefits, not just a temporary aid. Absolutely, Zuki. Not a quick fix. Quick fix isn't going to do it. You can't just put up. It's like you've got I don't know. You've got a massive. You've broken your arm, and you put a plaster on your little plaster on your broken arm. It's like it's not going to fix it, is it? It's a quick fix. It's a shit fix. It's not going to work. Long term, it's not good enough. So I'm saying, I've had times where I didn't feel safe with my therapist. I've also had times where I thought I had feelings for him, LOL, and it was safe enough for me to speak up and I talked through it. And sometimes it makes, and Suki's then saying, and sometimes it takes a lot of different therapists to find the right one. I agree with that, Suki. Because it's got to fit your personality and your circumstances as well. Because no one's perfect. We're all human. We're all flawed. And some people have different. We can all learn off each other, can't we? We can all learn off each other. We can learn off anybody. But some people will have specific knowledge that will be more beneficial compared to another person. Depends, doesn't it? Is what I'm kind of gauged from what you're saying, Zuki. And Zuki saying, which puts off, but it's worthwhile sticking till you find the right one. I agree. People can be put off as well, Zuki, with therapists. They think, one, it's fucking expensive. They think, fuck that, I'm not paying for that. And two, it's painful. Some hard truths there. You've got to take accountability for your own actions as well. Therapists are going to open up the can of worms. Opening up Pandora's box, is it going to be nice and easy? Is it? Fuck. We all have demons. We all have shadow self. We all have insecurities. It's going to open all those ugly things up. And then also you're paying money for that as well. So a lot of people want to go there. But that's where the gold is, man. You don't have to have therapy to work on yourself, though. There's different ways of doing it. It's not one size fits all, but it can be very beneficial. Sandra said, apparently, this is all normally said. Your therapist said that was all normal, of course. It's a normal process. Maggot saying single dad too, bro. Single dad as well. Fair play to you, Maggot. Even harder when you're doing it on your own. You've not got a partner to help you through it. It's a hard job. Being a parent's a hard job. And no one's going to get it perfect either. Sandra B saying it's called transference, apparently, thinking you love your therapist, right? Okay. Maybe it's that childlike part of you, maybe, I don't know. Because they're hitting on you a deeper level, I suppose. And you're sharing things on a deep level. Therefore, that could be linked to that transference. I'd interpret that as. Sandra's saying it's a special kind of relationship, therapist-client one. Yep. Zerus AD. Zerus, good to have you with us. My name's Brad, by the way, if you don't know my name. It's the Inspirational Ambivert channel. It's Let's Get Inspired live vlog. I'm talking about narcissistic parents today. Sorry if anyone's ever already heard this, but thank you to anyone that's subscribed. If you want to see more content like this, just hit the subscribe and then hit the notification button and you'll be notified when my next lives are out. But good to have you with us, Zerus AD. I'm sorry it took me a while to get to your comment. Sandra's then saying, hi, Zerus. Tell me one positive thing about today. Sorry, Zerus, sorry, I'm going back to your comment. My depression is digging my cave more every day. I'm sorry, Zeros, that sounds hard, sounds difficult. Sorry, it's gone off a moment. I say, in my grave, I only find this solution. Sorry, Zeros, what's this? What would be your solution? What would be your solution? I can only go off what you're saying. I'll try and help you the best I can. Always learning. I couldn't see a therapist. They could never understand my life. They didn't live it. Nature and understanding. I can heal myself has worked for me. Always learning. I like your name, by the way. Your YouTube name. My name's Brad as well, by the way. Sorry, I've already said that. Yeah, you don't have to have a therapist to work on yourself. It's a very good tool, of course. Have I personally done it? No, I haven't. Let's be honest. I've never been to a therapist, but I do understand the benefits that it can give people. However, I agree with always learning. You can heal. We have the ability to heal ourselves, especially if you're open-minded and you're disciplined and you've got perseverance and you read and you apply the things that you learn about. You apply that knowledge consistently, you can fucking heal yourself. And nature is healing as hell as well. I agree, always learning, absolutely. And it's worked for you. And I always say this, always learning, not one size fits all. You don't have to go to a therapist just to heal. It's not the only way. Absolutely not. Everyone's different. And sometimes it's a problem shared, it's a problem halved. I like this saying, the problem shared is a problem halved. If you're sharing it with the right people, it can help. Sandra B, anyway, moving on. Sandra B saying, Xeros, why? But why? Xeros is saying, because the world I thought that was suddenly does not exist anymore. Elaborate a bit more if you can, Xeros, if you don't mind. No pressure, by the way. Sorry that you're going through a dark time by the sounds of it. I don't know the full ins and outs, so Xeros, sorry. Josh says Xeros Eddie 100%. Josh is showing an understanding towards Xeros there, which is lovely. Zuki saying got to head off now, but thanks, Brad and chat. Take care off. Thank you, Zuki, for being with us. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope that your outcome becomes more positive. Let's say that much. But thanks for sharing everything with us. You sound like a very wise, healthy, strong person, by the way. You've got your head screwed on, and I'm sure that you'll get through the challenges that are going to be presented going forwards. But thanks for being with us, Zuki. And goodbye for now. Just saying goodbye to Zuki. Xeros Eddie, all my life's expectations broken. My career, my friends, all dead. What's happened there, Xeros, then? That sounds awful, mate. Have you lost your job? Have you got no friends? How old are you? What's the situation? Life's getting harder. I know that, Xeros AD. I don't know where you live, by the way, but I think there's turbulent times, not just in England. That's where I'm from, of course, but within society as a whole. I think it's getting difficult and challenging. And we've got to try and navigate through this the best we can. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, Xeros. It might not feel like there is, but I do believe there's light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know your full story, though, Xeros. Sorry. But I'm sorry that you're going through a shit time by the sounds of it. Maggot said, everything is subject to change. The only thing that's constant in life is change. Things are always changing. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the fucking worse, unfortunately. Nothing stays the same, Maggot saying. I agree, Maggot. How you feel today will change. Absolutely. One day you're the top of the world. You're a king. You're a fucking king, or you feel like a king. You're winning. Life's going fucking great. And then, snap, it changes. Shit happens, and it's awful. Fucking beyond words. Difficult. Yeah. Yeah. And it's ups and downs of life, but the only thing constant in life is change. Going in line with what Maggot says. Very wise, by the way. Josh is saying, should be government funded. Sorry, Josh, I don't know what you mean. What should be government funded? I'm misinterpreting something there. Maybe I'm missing something. Xeros Eddie saying, all the people I loved is dead but my parents. Your parents are still alive? Do you have a good relationship with your parents, Xeros? I'm sorry that a lot of people in your life have passed away. Always learning, saying it's different for everyone. I find it hard to talk about myself. Suppose my past has made it very hard for me to trust. Yeah, if you've been burnt a few times, always learning. It is hard to trust. Sometimes that's a good thing though, because you're protecting yourself, aren't you? Especially on here, it's easier to, basically people type things on here, and it's a safer place to do it, in my opinion, compared to if you're out with a group of friends or family, and some of these family could be lovely, some of these friends could be lovely, some of these friends can be a pain in the ass, some of them are not, they've not got your best interest at heart, and it's hard to share it with those people, especially on a personal level, when you're speaking face to face, for instance. This is an easier way to do it, in my opinion, always learning, because you're just typing it in, aren't you? And these people don't know you individually based on where you live as well. Sorry if I'm going off on a tangent with that. But it is different for everyone. I agree, always learning. You find it hard to talk about yourself. You find it hard to trust people. You put walls up. I've done that in the past. I put loads of walls up at one point to protect myself. And it did protect me, putting the walls up. However, nothing good could come in. Nothing bad could come in and nothing good could come in when I put too many walls up. But I think it's smart to be mindful of who you share things with, though. Absolutely. Zeros AD showing angst with the picture that it's showing me. Sorry that you showing that. Sorry that you're suffering, Zeros. Hopefully here can help you a little bit, or at least feel like you're heard. At least feel like you're heard and understood a little bit. That's a little small step forwards. Just being heard, just feeling like someone actually understands where you're coming from. That's a big thing in itself, even though it's a simple thing. Josh is saying self-accountability in yourself. Absolutely, Josh. Owning it. It's called owning it. Own your shit. You're going to fuck up, Josh, as you know. I'm sure you know. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up. You're going to drop the ball. And then it's going, do you know what? I fucked up. Acknowledge it. Own it. Pick that ball back up and try again. What people that don't do that, zero accountability, they don't pick the ball back up. They blame someone else for dropping the ball, but therefore they never learn. That's a karmic debt straight away. You're never going to grow. You're never going to learn if you don't take self-accountability. Self-accountability is massive, in my opinion. If I know someone that has self-accountability, to me, my estimation of them goes right up. I just think, you know what? I respect that. That shows integrity, and integrity is everything, and it's lacking in the world a lot. It really is lacking. But if you find anyone that has self-accountability, you know that's a green flag, man. It's a fucking green flag. That means you've got a good person. I know there might be more to it, but that's a big fucking good thing. That's a really good thing. That's a person that's not good. That's a big thing that I look for in people as well. If I know someone who blames others, who's got zero accountability, I don't want to go be anywhere near them. I don't. It's a red flag. Of course, it's harder when there's family involved. Anyway, Maggot saying, Zeros, I concreted my whole life. I have trouble moving. I don't see my kids much. I'm an immigrant kid, so no family, big house, and I can't heat, but it's all cool. Oh yeah, my car just broke down. Maggot, that sounds challenging, doesn't it? But you're seeing your stoicism is being showed there by Maggot with regards to that paragraph that he's just shared with us. Yeah, mobility issues because you've been grafting all your life. Your body's worn down. You don't see your kids because they've got their own lives, doing their own things. You're an immigrant kid because you said you're from Blackburn originally, which is where I'm from, near enough, Blackburn. Big house that I can't heat. But you keep going. You're stoic through it all, through the hard times. You look for the silver linings, Maggot. You look for the fucking silver linings. Life's not easy. Life will beat you down. But you've got to keep going. And like you said before, some days you're winning, some days you're not. You just got to get through it the best you can. Not always easy though, of course. Sandra's saying, oh, bye, Zuki. Take care of yourself and best of luck. Zuki was lovely. Good to have her with us, by the way. Sorry, I'm just going through the comments. Sandra's saying, lovely to meet Zuki. Yeah, she was really nice. I hope that she's all right. Maggot's then saying, keep going, you're tougher than you can imagine. Yep, absolutely, Maggot. We are tougher than we can imagine. Sometimes these hard times bring out the best in us. When the shit hits the fan, I feel like I can just step up. I move up, I go up a level when things get really hard. I might get pissed off, I might get annoyed, I might get frustrated, but then I think, I need to fucking act now. And then I step up a level. It makes me better sometimes, the shitty times. Someone saying, beautifully said, Maggot. Noidin saying, beautiful accent. Thanks, Noidin. Not many people say that to me, but thanks. Noidin. My name is Brad, by the way. Most people don't tell me I've got a beautiful accent, but I appreciate that respect. Just saying, LOL jokes. Good to have jokes, man. Oh, probably a joke then, isn't it? Yeah, I get it. I'm interpreting that the best I can. Maggot saying the struggle is real. I sort of like it. Yeah, the climb, man. It's all about the climb. All about the struggle, the climb. Everyone has the mountaintop moment. They achieved everything, but that's only short-lived. It's like, what do I move on to next? So I'm going to move on a little bit with the chat. One moment. I agree, though, Maggot. The struggle's real. I like it as well. I like being busy. I like being active. I like being useful. I like challenges. I think that's what it's all about, man. Sometimes the challenges can be overwhelming and it can be fucking tiring. And you think, what the fuck? What have I got myself into? But when you get through it, you come out the other end, you can think, you can feel, you can appreciate it. Anyway, so healing and moving forward now. We're moving on to healing and moving forwards. So referring to my notes again, guys, just a little bit. So healing often begins with awareness. Being aware of your situation. Seeing things for what they are. Being around narcissism, being around toxic behavior. Knowing it for what it is, recognizing it, going, I can see the pattern now. I know what's going on. And noting when guilt or shame is trying to guide our decisions, like someone's trying to guilt manipulate you, someone's trying to control you, trying to guilt trip you, trying to fuck you up, trying to trip you up, trying to make you fall over, making you feel guilty, trying to manipulate you, basically. I mean, it's knowing, you're trying to manipulate me, you're trying to fucking you're trying to mug me off. You're trying to make a muppet out of me. You're trying to control me. If you know what they're doing, you go, right, I can see this now. I see the pattern. That's when you can act on it. That's when the healing and moving forwards can occur. That's when the setting boundaries, even small ones, can be powerful. You're protecting yourself with the boundaries. Like, I'm not accepting that behavior. You're being a dick. No. Fuck you. You're trying to bug me off. I'll put a boundary in place there. Even if it's a tiny one, start with the small ones. This can happen in narcissistic situations, being around narcissistic people, narcissistic parents, narcissistic friends, whatever it is. Boundaries are not cutting people off, but they're about protecting your own peace. One moment, guys. I'll change that. So, what boundaries work best for you? Sorry, guys, I'm just going quiet for a moment. With narcs, let's say, I'm keeping it done. Josh is then saying, So what boundaries work best for you with narcissists? What boundaries, have you ever put any boundaries in place? What's worked for you? If you can share, that'd be great, because then we can all learn from that. Myself including, of course. Josh is saying, and when you hit them up about all that behavior, they'll simply say you're crazy and it's all in your head. Yeah, gaslighting, Josh. What's up with you? Why are you getting upset? What's fucking wrong with you? Don't be so emotional. Don't be so sensitive. It's only a fucking joke. That kind of thing they can say. Even though they've been an absolute fucking cunt with you, and they weren't even joking, they were just being nasty as fuck, and then they put it back on you. They put it back on you. Like you're losing it. It's all in your head. Like, no, it's not. You've just been awful with me, and I'm reacting to it. Ilias, rocket scientist. Hello, rocket scientist. Hello, Mr. Hello, rocket scientist. My name's Brad. Good to have you with us. Talking about narcissism, basically, narcissistic parents specifically, and the topic that we're on right now is what boundaries work best with you with narcissists. What works best? I am just gonna be 1 minute, guys. I'll be literally 1 minute. I'll be back with you in a moment. Let's put this down. Sorry about the wait there. Hope you can hear me. I'm back. I need to go there a moment. Sorry. Back online. Give me a moment, please. Just sorting my microphone out. Josh saying, I was a protest in the UK today. It was yesterday, Josh. It was in London. I didn't go. I think he went quite well. I think there was a little bit of trouble, but it was better than I thought it was from what I've seen. What was he called was on there as well. Elon Musk was involved, which is mad. I don't know what his angle is on that. I think it was, on the whole, it's quite peaceful, which is a good thing. It's obviously to do with regards to immigration, isn't it? I think people are a bit fed up and a bit tired. I think people are working hard. Everything's getting more expensive. Cost of living's getting higher. People have got less money. People have got less resources. People are struggling to get doctor's appointments. People are also struggling. They've worked here all their lives and they're struggling to get the children into school because for right or for wrong, there's immigrants coming over to the country and their children are deemed to be more at risk. Therefore, they get the first places in all the schools. So I work with some people, they can't get the kids into school, even though they've worked here all their lives. They've lived here all their lives. They've worked all their lives. They're paying loads of taxes and they can't even get your kid into school. So they're getting pissed off, which I get. I'm not on about this lot. I work with a lot of overseas people in the hospital, and a lot of them are really good people, very capable, very hardworking, and that's different in my opinion. And I'm not saying some immigrants can be helped or should be helped, because when people come from shit situations, they're just trying to get a better life from themselves, and I understand that. However, there's only so many resources, there's only so many services, only so many resources, as I've just said. And what's happening as well is people are putting into hotels, they're being paid for, they're getting laptops, getting fed every day, it's costing loads and loads of money, while people are working their asses off, paying for all of this indirectly, and people are just frustrated, which I get it. and something needs to change. Something needs to change. Have they allowed this to happen on purpose? This is not just England, is it? I think of these turbulent times. Canada's struggling. America's struggling. I don't know the full ins and outs. England's struggling. Trust me, it's getting harder. Germany struggling. France is struggling, and the list could go on. Anyway, where's my notes? Yeah, so it's getting harder out there, Josh. But I think I think it went well. I don't know how much change that will bring about. Maybe they need to do more of those. On my own personal note is, I hope that there's not. But I hope that there's not. I hope people. I think people will all come from the same source. I hope that there's people not killing each other or anything like that over it. I think it could end up like that though. Sometimes people's negative behaviours can spill over, especially in a mob, in a big group of people. It can bring out the ugly in people sometimes. Sorry, my stomach's rumbling there. But I think it went quite well, Josh. I don't know if all the ins and outs because I wasn't there. But there's a lot of flags everywhere in England. If you see them on like motorway bridges or freeway bridges, let's say, if you're in America, there's a lot of that as well. There's a lot more flags. You see flags everywhere, more than you usually do. Maggot saying pack mentality. Yes, the psychology of people can change when they're in a big pack. They can be influenced by it. And bad, ugly things can happen sometimes as well. I think the country's, it's just mad. The country's just struggling. Its identity's gone. It's struggling. Yeah. There's a lot I don't understand though. And a lot of people, what they're doing is like free Palestine or whatever they're talking about, free Ukraine, whatever. And I know it's all horrible. It's just fucking people dying in wars, which is fucking awful. But it's like, some people are going, yeah, free Palestine, I've got a flag. And like, I don't know how effective that's going to be, for one. People might not agree with me with this. And two, like, have you sorted your own life out first? Like, some people are trying to solve world issues, big fucking issues, massive fucking complex, really complicated issues. Like that Gaza and fucking Israel war or whatever, Gaza Strip, that's been going on for years and years and years and years. Like a long, long, long time. It's very complicated. There's a lot more to it if you look into it. I'm not going to explain those things now because I probably do it badly. And like you're trying to solve world affairs, typing something in. It's like, good luck with that one. It's beyond our knowledge and control. The left and the right, whatever fucking side. I meant to pick one of these sides. I'm like, no, I'm not picking any of these sides. I've got my own life. My life's complicated enough. I'm trying to help people the best I can, but I need to sort my own shit out before I can start freeing bloody Palestine. It's a big, complex issue. I'm not going to be able to do it sat here on my keyboard. And people do that a lot, don't they? Put loads of flags, shitload of flags, free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. And then they even put it on here sometimes. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you asking me to free Palestine on here? What the fuck am I going to do? What the fuck are these people going to do with that as well? So I'm going off topic here, but I think stupid. Keyboard warriors as well, innit? Fucking chatting shit. And it's just, what's it called? It's trending. So I'm jumping on the free Palestine button. I'm not saying all people that do that are like that. I'm not saying these people have some good points or whatever, but a lot of people, it's virtue signaling, isn't it? Virtue signaling, that's what I was going to say. All in the comfort of your own home, all hidden behind a keyboard, and then they chatted on here, man. Chatted on here. Well, why the fuck are you doing that? I don't get it. Good luck with that. You're not going to get anywhere. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent there. But anyway, it's very complex, Josh, with that. I don't know what the end result's going to be. It's going to be interesting, I suppose. Testing times, indeed, though. So what boundaries work best for you? Mine is, personally, this is a really easy one. When I find someone trying to manipulate me, guilt trip me, I go, my guilt button's not working. This is one of my boundaries. My guilt button's not working. It's broke. I say it to them, my fucking guilt button's broke, mate. And then they stop. They think, oh shit, it's not working. That's a quick one if they're trying to manipulate into something. Another one I like to say, I love this one. When you've heard this before, I'm sure. When you say no, you say yes to yourself. So when you say no, you say yes to yourself. Therefore, it's okay to say no to things sometimes. It's okay to just be a bit selfish. And you're not always being selfish, you're being self-full sometimes. Sometimes you've got to look after yourself, look after your own energy, look after your own, put boundaries in place. Some people will, they'll only like you based on how much they can get from you as well. So they're always trying to get you to do stuff. They're trying to ask you to do stuff, and you're a kind person, so you help them. But everything's never enough. With them people, you've got to put boundaries and say, no, I ain't fucking picking you up from there today. Sort your own shit out. That's not my problem. And have you ever found it when people know that you've got a day off? Oh, are you off on Thursday? Oh, you can come with me and we can do this, which can be good sometimes, of course. But sometimes you're hijacking me. You just want me because I'm driving and you want to use my car. You just want to use me. You're hijacking my fucking day off. Just because I've got a day off doesn't mean I have to sort you out. No. Nothing wrong with sorting people out. Nothing wrong with helping people. But also, so good to be self-full sometimes. That's my fucking boundaries. Don't feel guilty for saying no. My guilt button doesn't work. Fuck off. Because some people will take the piss. Not everyone, but some. Anyway. Pack mentality. Anyway, Maggot saying, I was busy trying to stop chemtrails Saturday on my own too. Maggot, how the fuck do you stop chemtrails, man? How'd you stop chemtrails? I don't know how you stop chemtrails. Can you elaborate? Are you going in line with what I'm saying? Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. You're a comedian, Maggot. You're joking. Yeah, trying to stop yeah, you're not going to be able to stop chemtrails, are you? I'm trying to think logically about that. I never really think about chemtrails. I'm aware of them, but I don't think about them. Yeah. Put them in a jar, maybe. Catch them in a jar. Go on with the joke there. Maggot saying, give them a lift home from work and they need to go shopping too. Yeah. Yeah, cheeky fuckers. Like, yeah, you cheeky cunt. And some people just are cheeky cunts. Yeah, I've given them a lift home. Yeah, can you just go shopping? Yeah, I just need to pick the kids up as well. Oh, you're lovely. Thanks. And then it's always more and more and more. Like, no. Fuck off. Sorry, I'm being very blunt there. Tinfoil hat, Maggot. Yeah, when in doubt, get the tinfoil out. George, get your tinfoil out, mate. Everything will be fine. Put a few holes in it. It'll be good. Gregors. Hi, Gregors. How good to have you here. Hello, Croatia and UK. Hi, Gregors. Hope you're okay. Maggot saying, yeah, stand on the side of the highway by yourself with a cardboard sign. It should work. Yeah. Yeah. Go and hitchhike. Tell them that. That's it. Boundaries. It's like saying, no, you're not mugging me off. I'm not running around for you. Sandra's saying hi to Gregors as well. Hope I'm saying that right. So anyway, I'm going to carry on. I suppose I'm moving away from narcissism, moving away from narcissistic people, moving away from those narcissistic dynamics. It's like looking at healthier role models. You can look at healthier examples, being aware of those healthier examples, because you might be growing up in a fucked up world and that might be your normal. And then you might think everyone's like that. But when you do realize it's not everyone and not every family is always fucked up and crazy. And if you can look at healthier role models, it can help you move forward, can't it? Anyway, I'm going to refer to my notes. I'm struggling to speak now, sorry. Finding healthier sources of love and connection is important too. Some people, what they do is as well, I think I've done it at one point, they don't know what a healthy relationship is. And if you do find one, they're not, imagine a woman, for example, some women, they're attracted to the arseholes. They go to the arseholes every time. If they find a healthy, normal guy, they don't find it exciting. They don't find him attractive. They don't want the healthy guy. They want the fucking dickhead, especially when they're younger and they're a bit fucked up. Mummy, daddy issues, let's say, daddy issues or whatever it is. And they'll be attracted to the bad boy because it's exciting and whatever bullshit. And we won't be interested in the healthy person and the healthy guy and the normal guy, let's say, because they don't know how to have healthy relationships. They're drawn to the dysfunction, which can happen with a lot of people, but she's done unconsciously a lot of the time. Anyway, moving on. So finding healthier sources of love and connection is important too. Knowing what's healthy, being aware of it, being attracted to it, becoming more aligned with the healthier way of living. Of course, it's better. That's where the love is. That's where the positivity is. That might mean building friendships that feel safe, that you feel better around. Exploring therapy, like we spoke about before, even just journaling your thoughts, writing down your thoughts. It's a really good thing. Santa saying, yeah, UK to Croatia and with the Croatia and British Isles flag. Maggot saying, I don't see chemtrails. I haven't seen traffic lights for a year. Yeah, you're out in the sticks there, Maggot. Really out in the sticks by the sounds of it. You said you've got used to that last time, didn't you? You've got to become familiar with it, with the nature, with the solitude. You're very lucky, Maggot, in a lot of ways as well. You're away from the rat race more than most people, by the sounds of it. Greg always saying flags on the pole. Yeah. In a way, it's a type of rebellion. The English don't tend to do this either. The French are good at rebellion, aren't they? They're fucking really good at it. Revolution. The French top at it. I think the Irish are quite good at it as well, but the English are very placid. So even for that to happen, with regards to the marches, is a big thing for England because we don't usually do it. I think people have had enough. Could it lead to civil war? Question mark. Let's see how things go. I hope it doesn't lead to civil war. But anyway, I hope it brings positive change. I hope it does. I'm optimistic. Power to the people and all that kind of shit. It's all good. Anyway, so the key thing to remember is I want to share is this: love is not something you have to earn. It should be feel steady, supportive, and unconditional. That's all I've got to say on that, guys. One moment. Let me have a little rest. Flags on the pole, yeah. Different Scottish, English, Welsh, is Greg always saying. Maggot saying French duct tape camping mattresses to themselves and put bike helmets on, go for it. I don't know what you mean, Maggot. Sorry. So you're getting some duct tape and a camping mattress and you put it onto yourself to put on a bike and helmets and go for it, just to protect yourself by boundaries. So you're getting in the riots. Yeah, like, God, yeah. Josh is saying, enlighten us, Maggot. I think I need to know more about that. They're fully armoured up, so they're going into battle, basically. They're getting tooled up. They've got the mattresses around them because you're going to be coming up against police. This is how I'm interpreting this. Police with the batons and the shields, all in formation, all lined up. And then in retaliation to that, the French are going, right, okay, we're going to get armoured up ourselves with some mattresses to protect ourselves from the batons from the French police, let's say. The French are good at revolution, man. They really are. They really, really are. They don't fuck around. I think they killed the royal family, basically. They murdered them. Yep. So did the Russians. The English didn't, though. I think the English were shitting themselves, though. The monarchy must have been shitting themselves. I think they gave a bit of the wealth away. I think they tried to soften it a bit. But the French didn't. The French didn't. They were really selfish with all the money and the resources, taxing everyone. Everyone were really struggling. So if the people get really, really desperate, that's when the revolution kicks in. When people are starving, when people are desperate, that's when they power to the people. That's when they overturn governments. The downside is, though, like it's like going, right, we want this to be better. This government's not working. That's all good and well, and we're going to overturn the government. So you overturn the government, okay, you've achieved that, but then it's like, a lot of the time what happens is, what the fuck do we do now? What do we do now? Have we got a better solution to this? And a lot of the time they haven't, people haven't. And then it just repeats itself. You get another group of people come into power. They love all the power. They manipulate things. And it's just, that's just my thoughts on that. You've got to have a better solution as well. Is there a better solution? I don't know. Talking politics here very badly, sorry. I've gone off topic a little bit. I'll carry on with this just to end with regards to this narcissism thing. Then I might just chat for a little while. So as we close, I just want to say, if you've grown up with a narcissistic parent, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Their struggles are not a reflection of your own worth, of course. You are allowed to live your life freely without carrying their expectations on your shoulders. Live freely, basically. I'm going to go to an open chat in a moment, see if anyone's got anything else to say. Next week, I'm going to be doing Sunday again, of course. I'm going to be talking about, one moment. I'm going to be talking about people pleasing next week, just to let you know. So anyway. So Maggot's saying, anyway, open chat now, guys. I'll go to open chat. And then sorry, that's no good. One moment, guys. I'll be with you in a second. Open chat. Okay. I finished with the narcissism talk. I'm just going to have a little chill talk for a while. Okay, Maggot's saying, Saxe Coburg Gotha owned about 8 countries in the ocean. Fucking hell, it's a lot, Maggot. His Russian cousin asked for help, but the Bolsheviks got him. What happened in that situation? Is that something to guys in history? He must have owned a lot, by the sounds of it, whoever that person is. Is it with regards to the Russian monarchy years ago? Or Prussia, wasn't it, before? LK Hess. Hello, LK Hess. My name is Brad. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is Let's Get Inspired Live vlog. We're talking about narcissism today, mate, but I'm going to an open chat now, so it's more of a relaxed chat now. Are you intelligent? Question mark. Well, that depends in who you want to compare me to. If you compare me to, like, Einstein, I'm not intelligent. If you compare me to AI, I'm not intelligent. But I do think I am quite intelligent. I have some intelligence. And I'm intelligent to know that I don't know everything. I have some intelligence, yes. I believe so. But am I super intelligent? I'd say no. I work in a hospital and I work with consultants. I work as a nurse, LK Hess. And sometimes when I'm talking to a consultant, I think, fuck me, intellectually, there's so much more intelligent than I am. So if you compare me to a doctor, I feel like I'm below them in intelligence, if I'm honest. But I do have some intelligence. I have a lot of emotional intelligence. Yeah, I do, to an extent. Why do I have two eyebrows? Right, so you want, LKS, would you prefer a Uno brow is the question. Do you prefer Uno brows? Like a one straight line eyebrow? I'm going with a joke there. Why do you have 2 eyebrows? I think it's just genetics, mate. That's how humans are. But some people have 1 eyebrow, like an Uno brow. It's where they've got like hairs in the middle. It's like 1 long eyebrow, which is absolutely fucking crazy, in my opinion. I'm going with the joke there, though. LK Hess. Maggot saying, Saxe Coburg Gotha is the English royal family name. I didn't know that, Maggot. They're German, aren't they? They changed it to Windsor during World War I. That's fucking interesting. I was aware of it to a very small extent, Maggot. Saxe Coburg, is that are they German descendants is the question. I think they are. They changed it to Windsor during World War I. Interesting. Yeah. I knew they were German. Fuckers. Sorry, swearing. I'm not a fan of the royal family. Sorry, I'm not. I've even spoke to people with regards to the royal family at work and the royalists, and I'm like, and they're really passionate. Some people I've spoke to are really passionate about the royal family, and I've had my opinions of them, saying I don't like them. They're just fucking parasites, etc., etc. And some people love them. They're really into it. They're really passionate about it. Each their own, of course. But I'm not a massive royal fan. I'm not a royalist, by the way. That's just my 2p's worth on them. Sandra's asking, LK, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay. How's life, LK? And Maggot's saying that they are German. Yep. I'm going quiet for a moment, guys. Just going quiet for a moment. I'm speaking for quite a while, of course. If anyone wants to talk about anything, chat about anything, it's an open chat. Go for it. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'll leave it there for a few minutes, see where the chat goes. If we carry on talking, that's great. If we don't, then I'll end the live vlog, of course. I hope that you found it interesting. I hope that it's been beneficial to an extent. I know it's quite a heavy topic, what I've talked about today. And if you want me to talk, if you need, I've online, obviously an inspirational ambivert channel. This is Let's Get Inspired live vlog. If you can subscribe, it really helps the channel. I really appreciate anyone that watches, anyone that comments, anyone that does subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, just click on that notification, the bell, click on the notification button as well, so you'll know when my other content, the future content is coming out. If you want to email me, you can. It's www.inspirationalambivert.outlook.com. It's on my page, on my channel page, let's say. You can see it on there. If you've got any questions for me, you can email me if you want to, and I'll respond the best I can. And I'm going to go quiet for a moment. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm just getting something. I'm going to read out my poem again. I did it last time on my last live, but I really like it. I think it's really good. If I can find it. Just go quiet for the moment, guys. If you've got anything you want to chat about, then just comment. How was my week? Thanks, Josh. How was my week? I've had a good week, Josh, really. I've been off work all week. Most of the week. I work Thursday. I'm on annual leave, so holidays. Monday, Tuesday, quite a good week. Usually it's quite boring, but Monday, Tuesday, I went glamping. Bolton Abbey was nice. I had a fire pit, so I was cooking chicken, barbecue and pizza, things like that. I was on a little 2-day vacation. Wednesday, I just chilled out. I was a bit tired. Thursday, I worked at the hospital overtime. Friday, I went to the Trafford Centre, which is in Manchester, which was fun, which was good. Yesterday, I watched that film yesterday, Josh. It's fucking top, mate. It's fucking top. It's called The Long Walk. It's really, in my opinion, it's engaging all the way through. It's by Stephen King, who I think is a great author. Usually you associate Stephen King with horrors, but it's more of a thriller. And basically, it's I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but basically it's dystopian future, like in America. And the country's struggling, the people are struggling, and then from each state, I think, each state, like a young man is nominated to go for this long walk, and they all have to do a long walk. And if you stop walking, it's the last man survives, basically. So you've got to keep walking at a certain pace, and if you stop walking, they get shot, they get killed, and it's really good, man. But watch The Long Walk. So I watched that last night at the cinema. It was really, really good. Great, good film. Top, by the way. So yeah, other than that, I've not been working, which is great. I'm back at work tomorrow full time again. Back on the fucking hamster wheel. Back to being a wage slave, let's say. But look at the positives. It gives me a nice lifestyle. So that's my week, Josh. How's your week been? Is the question. Enough about me. How's your week been, Josh? Are you from New Zealand, Josh? Forgive me if I'm wrong. If my memory's serving me wrong, just correct me. Are you from New Zealand? I think you are. I'm going to find a poem as well, and I think it's a really good one. I do read this quite often, but I fucking like it, so I'm going to read it again in a minute when I find it, eventually. If anyone's got any ideas of what you want me to talk about in the future, I will do. I'll bring up the topics. One of the next ones is going to be about people pleasing, though. I'm not going to talk about it now, but I'm going to talk about people pleasing in the future videos, because I can really talk. You're half Scottish and Norwegian. Wow. Scottish mum, Scottish dad, or whatever it is. Yeah, wow. Can you speak the Norwegian accent is the question, Josh. It's meant to be a nice place to live, Norway, as well. Meant to be a really good standard of living. I think the taxes are high, but the standard of living is meant to be good. But I've never lived there, so I can't really talk about it too much. Sorry, guys, I'm taking forever with this. Being really slow. I'll get there eventually, though. Let's get there eventually. One more. I'll try and find this poem that I've got in here somewhere. That's that. It's not there. We're just doing a chilled open chat at the moment. And I'm just trying to find a poem. Born, yeah. Oh, I'm glad I remembered, Josh. I'm glad I remembered. Born in New Zealand. You said life's good there as well. England's falling apart, as I think I talked about to you before. Stay there, mate. By the sounds of it. Not that I'm an expert, but stay in fucking New Zealand. You're away from a lot of the shit, in my opinion. I think rugby union's the main sport there, isn't it? They used to be the best team as well. Rugby union. Not anymore, they're not, but they used to be almost unbeatable, the All Blacks. They're still very good at rugby, but not as good as they used to be. Not currently, anyway. That might change. I'm finding this poem. I will get there. Eventually. Going through my notes now, guys. Taking me forever, though, isn't it? As you can see. Shit. Oh, one moment. There we go. I found it. Thank God for that. That took like 10 years. I'm going to read a poem. You might have heard it before, but I'm going to read it again because I like it and it hits home. Okay, it's called The Man in the Glass poem. The Man in the Glass. This is by Peter Dale Wimbrow, by the way. This is the guy that's written this poem. So here we go. When you get what you want in your life, when you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass. But your final reward will be heart ache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. I like that poem. It's really good. Basically, it means that if you don't have accountability, you can lie all your life, you can be a piece of shit, but when it comes to the end, you won't be able to look at yourself in the mirror. Anyway, that's that. I'll be a few more minutes on here, guys, and I'm going to end the live vlog because I've not got. I've run out of things to say. The chat's gone quiet, which is fine. But thank you to anyone that's joined me today. It's been. I hope that it's been beneficial. I need to read up about. What do I need to read up about? I need to. Oh, I forgot that. Sorry. Sander saying I love that poem, Brad. Thank you. No worries. I love that poem too. She give me a hug. Thanks, Sander. I need to look into that attachment type of theory, I think, and learn about that a little bit more. Like, you can't know everything. Anyone who pretends to know everything, like they've got all the answers, that's a red flag as well. Some people are full of shit, especially within social media. Some people are brilliant, don't get me wrong. You can learn a lot from some people, but some people are just false, and you got to find out what's real and what's not. So be careful out there. So I'm saying it's been educational, insightful, and lovely today. Oh, thank you. And yeah, I agree, Sander. Thanks to everyone that shared those difficult stories. It's really open and honest conversations, which is what this is all about. And it's humbling to be able to hear those stories. And there can be difficult stories as well. A lot of pain associated with those stories. But also, it's good to share things, isn't it? Because it helps people to grow, helps people to learn, helps people to feel understood, helps people to feel less lonely in the situations, because these situations can feel lonely sometimes, isolating. Sander saying loads of love and light to all, and stay strong out there. Absolutely. Thank you, Sander. I'm going to end the live vlog. Thanks for everyone that's joined today. If you want to see more content like this, I keep saying this, but just subscribe, please. If you can, click the notification button, then you'll not be notified when I'm creating more content. If you want, I've got a community tab on there. If you want me to talk about, I've got an email address on there as well. If you want me to talk about anything, or if you want to share anything, then please do. Just communicate via those sources if you want to, of course. But that's it for today. So thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend for what's left of it. Make the most of it. Keep looking after each other. Keep being positive. Be your best self. Don't take any fucking shit. Don't take any fucking shit. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. So thanks for your time and goodbye.